Also,
It's okay. I'll just wear a mask when I eat mine.
Also, avoid eating raw cookie dough and not more than a teaspoon of salt every day.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, do they know who the American people are?
They take away my right to a juicy hamburger. That's my Second Amendment right. Because you roll up your sleeves, bare arms, hamburger. That was a bad joke.
No, I liked it. I was in there. I was there with you, man.
Rocco's going to be in later on. I got to use that one with him for his po' boys.
There you go.
The right to bear arms.
So, techgumbo.net is up and running. It's kind of an explosion of purple and gold.
Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting a lot more like background video and pictures and everything. And
This is the early beta version.
Gotcha.
I mean, but you can go. There's the page for the question of the week where you can get your mug to if you put in a question. There's a list of the summary of the past 2 years worth of shows.
Hey, can I make a request for bumper music today? And it's got to be clean version, so it's like super duper careful. Eminem, Dre, Snoop, and Mary J. Blige, just like on repeat all day long. Outside of the. Yeah, well, I mean, definitely. So I know, like, yeah, unless it's like a regular open, first hour, second hour, third hour. Cup of Tech Gumbo, those have theirs built in, but everything else, like Family Affair, really good. Golly.
Who sings that?
Mary J. Blige. Yeah.
I've heard her name before.
Yeah. She's late 90s.
I'm looking forward to this halftime show because it'll be the first time I've heard Snoop Dogg's music.
Sober? Oh, ever?
Ever.
Okay. I believe Doggy Style came out in 92.
Eminem. I think I've heard he had one song about what's the guy's name?
Stan?
But I don't know Mary J. Blige. Who else is on? That's Snoop and Eminem.
It's Snoop. It's Dr. Dre.
Oh,
It's Mary J. Blige.
I definitely don't know Dr. Dre.
I don't see myself getting off the music train at any time. A lot of folks that they know what they like, they move on. I'm one that I like stuff that's coming out. My daughter and I were listening to a new Charlie Puth song yesterday. I like me some Charlie Puth. It's a weird last name. P-U-T-H. Charlie Puth.
It's not that I'm stuck on listening to the Eagles music exclusively. I mean, there's some modern music that I listen to. It's
Cool. Thank you. Yeah. Clean version. One of Brian's many teenage crushes right there. So 90s. I'm pretty sure the instrumental of this is Bill Maher's music on his HBO show, Real Time. Could be wrong with that. Who's my first live? I can do that. Hey. .606 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Good morning, everybody. Brian here with you. Jake producing. We call it Mornings with Brian Haldane. We're getting you geared up for Super Bowl weekend. Am I allowed to say Super Bowl? What are the rules on that? Do I have to call it the big game while I'm in this show? Or is it only during advertisements? Is it
Super Bowl?
I can say Super Bowl. I'm in the clear here. Come and get me, Goodell. Yeah, Super Bowl weekend. We are getting you geared up. Honestly, though, this show's all over the place. So we're going to cover a lot of ground this morning. But, yes, we are getting ready for Super Bowl weekend. We are live on air. We are live on YouTube. And live on YouTube is where I want to ask you this question. All morning long, I need answers to this question. Yes, we all love Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Yes, we're all in on the Bengals tomorrow. But, not tomorrow, Sunday. But does your Super Bowl party menu include Skyline Chili? We've had 2 weeks. We've had 2 weeks now from the AFC Championship till today, and you've got 2 days from now until kickoff. Can Louisiana fix Skyline Chili? For those unfamiliar with it, this is a Cincinnati, should I air quote or just really make it sarcastic, delicacy, where they take chili and put it on top of spaghetti. They don't cook the spaghetti in the chili, pastelaya style. I think that might be a mistake. Had somebody ask me yesterday, anybody serving up Skyline Chili to go so you can just grab a bunch? Yes. So you just grab a bunch? It's like, not that I know of, but I know some people. We should get that done. If you want gross for this Super Bowl, let's roll, baby.
I was in Cincinnati back in the fall and had some Skyline chili in Cincinnati. Underwhelming.
It's like Detroit pizza, you know? It's like, God bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. They're trying so hard. They want it to be a thing. Like, it's grosser than Who Day. Super Bowl coming your way Sunday. We'll be in and out on that, talking about it in different forms and fashions throughout the show today. But I got a huge guest list today. We got Haggai Davis. You just heard him a moment ago. Coming in for a cup of tech. Gumbo. Facebook has problems on 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 fronts right now. Everything from stock prices to daily users to Europeans are just might be on the outside looking in. And really, if you can't impress Europe, what's the point of being? Cup of Tech Gumbo, 635, 715. State Treasurer John Schroder is going to join me. We're talking about LACashClaim.org today. I tell you about it every day. I'm sure I'll tell you about it sometime throughout the show again. Money is in the state's hands, and it comes from everywhere. $900 million from leftover security deposits to IRAs that didn't roll over to your new job, whatever. It could be yours. It could just be sitting there. LACashClaim.org. We're talking about it with its treasurer at 7:15. Aaron Bayham heads up Celtic Media. He's going to hop in. I don't even know if he's in person or not. Either way, we've got him at 7:35 today. Why? I'm going to kidnap Huey Long. National Treasure, the TV series, is going to be filmed right here in Baton Rouge. Any actors we've talked to on this show, when you ask them what's their favorite roles, they tell you a long-standing TV series. It's the honeypot, man. It's the sweet spot. It's the creative outlet mixed with the steady paycheck. And when you're Baton Rouge and we are where we are in the film game, it's high time we've teamed up with Disney Plus. Big win for Aaron Bayham and Celtic Media. We're going to be talking about it at 7:35. At 8:15, the Yacht Father, Jimmy Yacht, is going to be on the hotline. We're talking with the Otter about the Super Bowl. This is our first Super Bowl where we could stop mid-sentence before dipping the next Frito into the cream cheese dip. We could stop mid-sentence and place a wager on what will happen on the very next play. Mobile sports betting, our first Super Bowl with mobile sports betting. We're going to hear from the Yacht Father about the impact it's going to have, trends we're going to see, and a little bit of what not to do as well. It can get compulsive. We want to stay ahead of that. This should be fun. Then we're going to round things out with Rocco. Been looking to team up with Rocco in some form or fashion. We have him on once every Foodie Friday season. We do Foodie Friday throughout the summer, throughout grilling season. And we'll have Rocco on. I know grilling, but it's presented by Louisiana Beef Industry Council, so we'll have him on to talk about making hot roast beef. This is Rocco Morrow of Rocco's New Orleans Styles Po' Boys on Drusilla. Been looking for an excuse to get him in here more often, and I think we've come up with something. I think we've got a little something here. The aim is to talk about some basically not newsy news, but some of the lesser seen headlines from New Orleans. Like, I don't know, altering parade routes. You just don't do it. The New Orleans Breakers are back. I can't wait. And I'm sure we'll talk a little Skyline Chili there as well. That's coming up at the end of the show. Right now, though, we're due up for a break before we get you set for Super Bowl Sunday with our sports segment. Actually, I'm looking at the rundown for the sports segment. There's way too much to talk about. I don't know if we're going to cover the Super Bowl in our next segment. So right now, let's take a quick break. Actually, before that break, risela.biz. risela.biz. I should just say risela.biz for 60 seconds. Ever heard of Fred Keller? He's the founder and chair of Cascade Engineering. Fred did a little something in his business where he changed the way he did business. Number of low to middle income employees were just struggling to stay afloat. It got to the point of where it was barely worth coming to work anymore because, well, you'd end up on welfare or you're barely clearing that hurdle of welfare. Fred figured out how to change his methods and the way he runs business to get employees off of welfare while simultaneously raising profits. We're in a workforce crisis in Louisiana right now, and if you're a small business owner, you could be in this boat as well. And you can learn from Fred. RiseLA.biz is the website to learn how to sign up for the upcoming seminar. With Rise LA, we all rise together. Quick break. When we come back, got a ton of sports to cover next. See, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. It should be, we all rise together. It should be, I'm a part of this Talk 173 team. I'm supposed to show on Talk 173. Any Hoosers. La. Hey, good morning, Christy. What? No. We'll get there. Feeling good about my way in today. Feeling strong. I feel like when I step on the scale today, and I know I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen, but that first number is going to be a 1. I got that. I'm feeling lean. Good. Got to get there.
What do you think about the Ben Simmons?
Oh, yeah. Let's get rid of Ben Simmons. He's a problem child. Who do we want? James Harden. That solves all of our problems. You want to talk about doubling down on a 14? That's not even a hard 12.
But at least Harden can make a jump shot.
Yes, he can.
In my time of being an NBA fan, I've never seen a player more committed to losing. How do you leave a team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on that team? And it's like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to win a chip there.
You're not. You're not. Kevin Durant is not a winner. He's just a specimen. And we're at a turning point with the NBA where all this traveling road show, let's create our own Harlem Globetrotters team, it's going to fade away very fast. Because it's not going to work as often as people would like, and it's not going to work as often as it's going to cost.
Yeah, look at the Lakers right now. They are mortgaged into the 2030s.
Bruh, that's going to get bad.
Oh, no.
Since we're on YouTube, I can't get it. Off the record conversations yesterday. Governor's calling a bluff he don't want to call. Yeah.
Really?
That's the way it's told to me. I don't know for sure.
Oh, this is the song I was talking about. This is the song I was talking about. I've heard this one.
616 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along, bringing you that Super Bowl halftime show throughout the morning this morning. I can tell you're so fired up about this. I mean, as excited as I am to see Joe Burrow and four or five other former LSU Tigers in the lineup for Sunday. Halftime show is like, have I reached that age now? Is this how everybody felt when the Rolling Stones were on stage for the halftime show? Is this a turning point in adulthood where it's I'm this close to hearing music that I heard in high school playing in the supermarket? Is that where we're at right now? We got a lot of sports to cover and not a whole lot of time to do it. Big nights from Alexis Morris, Jalen Cherry, and Kayla Pointer gave Kim Mulkey's Tigers their 20th win of the season last night, topping Georgia 73-67. Morris had 28, Pointer had 21, Cherry had 18. The win moves the Tigers to 20-4. Currently third in the SEC behind number 1 in the nation, South Carolina, and number 13 in the nation, Tennessee. LSU will head to College Station to take on Texas A&M Sunday at 2. Pre-game will start at 1:30 right here on Talk 107.3 FM with Patrick Wright on the call. On the men's side, Chris Blair will be on the call tomorrow night at 7 on Eagle 98.1. LSU hosting the 14-9 Mississippi State Bulldogs, looking to capitalize on their recent win at Texas A&M. Or was that home against Texas A&M? No, it was at Texas A&M. Pre-game starts at 6:30. Meanwhile, back to the NFL. Not previewing the Super Bowl here, recapping the regular season. Joe Burrow wins NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Of course, we know Burrow lost most of his 2020 season with a torn ACL and MCL and partial tears of his PCL and meniscus. This season, Burrow, 34 touchdowns, 4,611 yards, and, of course, leading the Bengals to their first Super Bowl since 1988. A lot of those touchdowns and yards went to former LSU Tiger Jamar Chase, who has won the 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is monumental on many fronts. Number one, it's former Tiger. Number two, it's not a quarterback, which is fantastic to see the Offensive Rookie of the Year go to somebody who's not a quarterback. 1,455 receiving yards. That broke a record for rookies. The record he broke belonged to his former teammate, Justin Jefferson, who should have won Rookie of the Year the previous year. One more to go before we move on from our sports segment. Shout out to former Saints Sam Mills. Couldn't help but see his name on the NFL's Hall of Fame list this year. That is so well-deserved. Dome Patrol in Canton, baby. Talk about the NFL, talk about the Super Bowl halftime show, reliving my youth. How about that Dome Patrol poster? You had Mills, Vaughn Johnson, Pat Swilling, Ricky Jackson. Huge recognition for the level of just awesomeness that was the Dome Patrol. Here comes the Fox Business Report.
And now 2 out of the 4 are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Wait. Ricky Jackson's in the NFL or Saints Hall of Fame?
I thought he was in the NFL Hall.
Is he? I hope so. The only one who's not going to make it,
Vaughn Johnson not going to make it.
Right.
Neither will Swilling.
You have the okay. If you need to skip out on bumper music for this one in order to get that going, that's perfectly fine.
How early in the segment you need it?
Do I have another live read?
Goes 2022.
Okay, then you've got 60 seconds in between.
In 2010, he was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of
Okay, I don't know why I thought he was just the Saints Hall of Fame. I have so much caffeine in me right now.
So the question, how many New Orleans Saints are in the Hall of Fame? NFL Hall of Fame.
I don't know, 3, 4. I don't know. Four, I think. I'm saying 4. Good Lord! The answer is 9. There's no... Oh, that's got to include, like, Hank Stram and shit like that. 9. Stop with pop-up ads. Ricky Jackson. Willie Roaf. Okay. Morton Anderson.
Earl Campbell.
That's not a Saint.
I know.
That's not a Saint.
He didn't go in.
Ken Stabler. Come on.
Jim Finks.
Jim Taylor.
Jim Taylor started his career with New Orleans.
A native of Baton Rouge, Taylor is most famous for his time with the Green Bay
That's right.
Packers.
He played for LSU. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Jim Taylor actually grew up in Avoca Island.
Where's
which
that?
is across the river from Morgan City.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's like 6 people that live on Avoca Island.
Doug Atkins, Paul Hornung, and Hank Stram.
Yeah, so
That's garbage.
That's guys who are in the Hall of Fame who did a cup of coffee at the Saints.
Right.
Of people who were actually New Orleans Saints, who got to the NFL because of this being at the Saints.
Willie Roaf, Ricky Jackson, and
Morton
Nelson
Anderson.
Mills.
Morton Anderson.
And Morton Anderson, yeah.
And soon to be Drew Brees.
Count it down. 3 more years, huh? First ballot. He better be first ballot. I got to get with Wagaspack from Lobby. They played a video. Wagaspack interviewed Drew Brees. B1 Bank was one of the sponsors. Anyway, it was phenomenal content.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. .623 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Gary Chambers has a new ad. We'll have it for you in just a minute. I got to take 60 seconds, though, to tell you about the folks over at Go Slim Nutrition. GEAUX SlimBR.com is the website. Blue Bonnet at Perkins is where you'll find them in real life. It's where I'll be. Little bit after time. I'm going to be late for my way in today. I'm going to be late for my way in today, and it stinks because I'm looking forward to my way in today. Had a good meeting with Vicky last week. I love sitting down with them every week. You go over what you've done right, what you've done wrong. You map out your next week. You step on the scale for that moment of truth. It's food confession, yes, but it keeps you on the right path. I've been teamed up with Go Slim for a little while now. I'm getting closer and closer to the weight that I graduated high school at. But it's not just about the weight. It's not just about the diet. It's about the overall lifestyle choices, the overall healthy choices. When I sit down with Vicky, she doesn't ask me about just the food that I ate. She asks me about water intake. She asks me about exercise. We talk about sleep. We talk about all of it because you can crash diet all you want. You can drop pounds all you want unless you've adapted overall healthy lifestyle choices. A, it's not going to stick. And B, really, what's the goal here? Is it just the waistline, or is it your overall health and well-being? 763-9600 is the phone number, 763-9600, or GEAUXSlimBR.com. Looking forward to today's weigh-in. All right. From the Associated Press. A Louisiana candidate for the U.S. Senate burns a Confederate flag in his latest video ad. It was released Wednesday. Gary Chambers, a Baton Rouge community activist and Democrat, is seen hanging a large Confederate battle flag on a line with clothespins before dousing with fuel and setting it ablaze. Let's give it a look, or if you're on radio, a listen.
They said, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. But here in Louisiana and all over the South, Jim Crow never really left, and the remnants of the Confederacy remain. In 1873, when a black man named P.B.S. Pinchback won a U.S. Senate race, he was never seated. They claimed election fraud. The attacks against black people, our right to vote, and participate in this democracy are methodical. Gerrymandered districts are a byproduct of the Confederacy. Our system isn't broken. It's designed to do exactly what it's doing, which is producing measurable inequity. 1 in 13 black Americans are deprived of the right to vote. 1 in 9 black Americans do not have health insurance. 1 in 3 black children live in poverty. It's time to burn what remains of the Confederacy down. I do believe the South will rise again, but this time, it'll be on our terms. I'm Gary Chambers, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Do I have time to get through all of this? I could do the entire show on that 60 seconds. So 1 in 13 black Americans is denied the right to vote. He doesn't say why. Didn't take much digging to reveal that this isn't a matter of African Americans being plucked out of voting lines for no reason. Gary's using a different issue to make his disenfranchisement point. The line he's leaving out of his spot is, because of being convicted of a felony, 1 in 13 black Americans is denied the right to vote. Boy, that makes it sound different, doesn't it? Changes the way it sounds. The ad has more impact when it's framed in a way that makes it seem like all black Americans are potentially subject to having their voting rights revoked randomly. Just on a whim. 1 in 13 black Americans is denied the right to vote. Wow, I hope that's not me. Obviously, I'm not black, but still. In Louisiana, if you're convicted of a felony, excuse me, your voting rights are suspended until you have completed your sentence, parole, and probation. Sentence, parole, and probation. After that time, or said differently, once your debt to society is paid, you get back in. Now, you'll likely have to re-register because you can be purged from the rolls within that time, but you won't be told no once you've completed your full sentence. Now, according to sentencingproject.org, Louisiana is one of 18 states that has this standard. 12 include time post-parole as well. 4 states are prison and parole, and 14 are prison time only. So his ad isn't necessarily inaccurate, but it's very misleading. What's more, if he wants to change that standard, is the U.S. Senate the right venue? Shouldn't he be seeking a seat in the state legislature to change what's in the state constitution? Speaking from a practical perspective, and I realize that, campaign ads are rhetoric, not practical. Speaking from a practical perspective, he should be running for a seat within the state. But for his purposes, this makes for a more powerful ad. An ad that, by the way, comes 3 weeks after his last major ad, which showed him apparently smoking marijuana. In that ad, Chambers decries racial disparities and arrests from the drug, but from there, you need a deeper breakdown of felony versus misdemeanor convictions to see where those two ads cross over. Now, I don't think anyone who wants to legalize recreational marijuana would argue that we are where they'd like to be on that front. But no reasonable person can argue that progress hasn't been made in recent years in reference to that trend. Medical marijuana has been expanded. Numerous municipalities either have or are looking to decriminalize marijuana. What makes his ad so misleading is the timing. It's not just within the ad. It's everything else that's going on right now. While he's telling us about those rights being denied or those who are being denied, we're simultaneously seeing the state legislature shoot down proposals to create a second majority-minority congressional district. Let me say that again. The state legislature. Gary's running for U.S. Senate. If you're running for U.S. Senate, why are you offering up solving problems of a different seat in your quest? By the way, Chambers blames the gerrymandering as a byproduct of. He says that it's gerrymandering and a byproduct of the Confederacy that are to blame. Well, there's also general geography that's to blame too. We've seen attempts at gerrymandering in the past. I mean, Troy Carter's district runs from Baton Rouge all the way down to New Orleans. Anyway, Competech Gumbo's up next. Again, once I start writing,
You could say his campaign theme is to lighten up. Between the first two ads, he's lighting things up.
he is pyromaniac Gary Chambers. There has been fire and smoke and fire and everything.
Yeah. He's not running for Senate. He's just trying to make a living.
He can't get elected to a statewide seat because the state party doesn't like him. He did. He had zero support from the Louisiana Democratic Party, and it was noticeable the fact that second came in second with zero state support. I believe he came in second. Yeah, state senate. Yeah. The Democratic Party in Louisiana is already the minority party. Not minority as in like race, but smaller numbers. The actual meaning of the word minority. So you can't start. And Gary's Senate district is majority minority anyway. So, but on a statewide level, you can't start with below 50% and then faction off from there and expect to be in the running. Like all that has to happen. All that really has to happen is, and Luke Mixon's just sitting there. I mean, just sitting there. He's all but got Governor Edwards' endorsement in the last Ask the Governor show. The way Jim Inkster framed that question, the governor laid it out there. So he's all but got your formal endorsement, and the governor said, "Yeah, all but." What? I mean, I thought it was standard practice to not endorse someone of your own party when there's multiple people within your party running. The state party is basically telling Gary to go away, and it's not good for the state party for the Democratic Party. So keep doing it, but you're dividing your own party as the party, not as Gary. Everybody has a right to step up and run.
It's interesting because I remember in 1979 at the first Louisiana State Republican Convention, the 125 people who were there, and that was like most of the Republicans from the state of Louisiana.
Yeah. Yeah, back when the state Democratic Party was full of like John Kennedy.
I mean, I was a voting delegate at the first three state Republican conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the platform committee the second and third times. And I mean, because there just wasn't that many Republicans involved.
Yeah.
I would not want to be part of that anymore.
What? The state Republican Party? Yeah, I don't know how to remove politics from the show altogether. I would love to. But crap like that,
No. That's, when I saw that, I was
it's almost like too easy.
yeah.
I mean, who the fuck goes to Cincinnati for food? That's funny. Troy, will there be a segment on new technology being deployed for the Super Bowl?
Yes, Troy, that's always a possibility. We may be able to go back and review on the show next week some of the things happening in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Not a bad idea.
Clinton, says Vicky is good at what she does. Talk about Go Slim Nutrition. Vicky's good at what she does. When I go, she asks about stress levels in life in general. Dude, stress plays into it. Stress affects sleep. Sleep affects metabolism. Stress affects eating habits, which also affects the bottom line when it comes to your weight. Totally. Galen says specifically, how are 1 in 13 black Americans deprived of the right to vote? How? They're convicted of felonies. This wasn't hard to figure out. I Googled exactly 1 in 13 black Americans are deprived of the right to vote. That's exactly how I Googled it. By the way, 25% of them are in Florida. That's too good. Too good. But there's 18 states that have the exact same rules that we do. And it just, when you leave that part out of the equation, when you leave that part out of your rhetoric, you're not being wholly honest.
But Gary doesn't want people to go to jail.
Right. And so if you tie the two ads together, he's got a point that's worth making. And it's about decriminalizing weed. If you tie the two ads together. But when you say it's not about weed is vilified, because you've already said that, now you're going to take it too far and blame the Confederacy? Jim Crow laws in 2022? I mean, look, I'll tell my own party all day long. Get over it. Stop running on the past. Running on the past doesn't win. You got it. Gary is playing to what he thinks his base wants. Yeah.
Gary is playing to get clicks and make money.
And he is getting clicks, and he is making money.
Yes.
And
he has no delusion to think that he's actually going to win.
That's where
2%
I disagree
of the
with
vote.
you. I disagree with you there. I don't think he thinks he's going to win, but I think he thinks he's going to make a big enough showing in order to win something else. This was a reach from the day he signed up.
This is to get national funding because the state.
I truly believe that in his heart of hearts, he believes he can make actual change. And in order to have actual change, he's got to have the gig on some level. You said Matherns? Cool.
Just don't get it. I don't have your head for science, so I'm not going to be able to help.
For a full serving, check out Tech Gumbo, presented by Cardinal Capital, Saturday and Sunday at 4.
We got 30 years worth of files right here in this computer. They're going to bring you down.
A cup of Tech Gumbo on Talk 107.3. I'm sorry, wrong password.
Time to welcome in Haggai Davis. He's the host of Tech Gumbo. Joins me every Friday for a smaller portion. We call it a cup of Tech Gumbo. Oh, Haggai, what's happening?
I'm so excited about being here.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you, though? I mean, even with my rant on it's just a...
Hey, that's worth the price of admission just to watch that. I mean, let's get your popcorn out and enjoy, kind of entertainment.
God bless Gary. He's awesome. I'm going to disagree with him all day long, but the visual impact of that ad...
It's going to achieve what his goal is for that ad.
Yeah, it is. Now, the problem he runs into in the very near future, and we're not going to spend much time on this because we do need to talk a lot of technology. Amazon's going up. So... the problem he's going to run into is this didn't outdo the last one. The weed ad, much more powerful, much larger base of people who agree with him. This one, you've whittled down the number of people who see this one and just say, okay, I'm over it. So what he's got to find is an issue that can't be debunked with a Google search. It has a broader base of agreement. He's got to find more consensus in his material and then drop the hyperbole and rhetoric on top of it. Anyway. So I had to go back to my notes. You saw that?
I did.
All right, Amazon Prime's going up in cost.
Just another $20 a year.
Well, 20 here, 20 there.
It started off as $99, and it was that way for a while. And a few years back they went from 99 to 119 a year, and and everybody got used to that, and now it's just going to go up another $20 to 139 a year, and it'll incrementally over time. Look, Jeff Bezos has to afford that rocket ship going up to, wherever he's taking it. So he needs that extra $3.5 billion by. There's
He's got to split it though, doesn't he?
There's 172 million subscribers.
Yeah.
To Amazon Prime.
Yep, I'm there.
Oh yeah, who's not?
The Haldane house is there. It's so darn convenient. And honestly, at the end of the day, you look at $139. You say that's still a deal
for next day, same day, 2-day delivery for the things that you're trying to get.
Yep.
And I mean, okay, fine. That's not a big deal for most people, but then some people that $20 does mean a lot of, and so I get it. It's just incrementally. Before long, it'll be $200 a year. Get over it.
No, so this is the old story about the frog in the pot of water.
Exactly.
You put a frog in a pot of boiling water, he's going to jump out. You put a frog in a pot of lukewarm water and slowly raise the temperature, and he will boil himself to death. We're going to boil ourselves to death.
Yes, we will.
Okay. How can we stay at 119 for one more year, though?
I think you can lock it down. But I'm not even sure. I know you can. You got to pay in advance. What was that?
I believe you have to pay for the whole thing in advance, if I'm not mistaken.
Pay for the whole year in advance. It's not. Don't do it monthly. You pay for the whole year in advance.
Right. If you're doing it month to month, you're going from $13 a month up to $15, as opposed to. See, when will the price actually change? February 18th. So we're right at a week away.
Most people do pay for annually anyway.
Yeah. So if you were considering an Amazon Prime subscription, now's the time to do it. I know we prepped about the Facebook stuff a lot more, but you sent me this one as well, and I feel like it affects more people, especially now. Prices will change on new accounts on February 18th. If you pay for a yearly subscription before then, you lock in the 119 rate until 2023.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I would be searching for how do I get a multiple-year subscription. If I'm Amazon, I'd want that because you don't get outflanked that way. Amazon's going to have competition.
Well, they have competition now.
Legitimate competition.
Walmart is trying to do their thing. They're trying to get into that game. You're going to have a few other companies who are trying to step up. They're going to try and compete, but you're 25 years behind Amazon already.
Yes.
And so ramp up speed is you're not going to get anywhere close to them for a decade because you're just not. Their distribution centers are just so massive, and and Walmart has their distribution centers as well that are very, very complex and very spread all over the place. But they don't have the way to distribute the way Amazon does.
One of the and that's actually going to be a jobs question here, and not a subscription question here in the very near future, which will because not just here, West Baton Rouge is getting one too. And then Lafayette's got one. And everywhere you turn, or every metropolitan area is going to have some level of employment is based off of all these Amazon subscriptions. So we're gonna have to look at it one day like the price of oil. Like, yeah, it's higher, but it means our jobs are sticking around. Like that's kind of where they're headed.
If you can pay your employees more, sure.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk Facebook, but I wanted to save that for the second segment because they're considering shutting down Facebook and Instagram in Europe if Meta can't process Europeans' data on U.S. servers. Silliness. Facebook is losing daily users for the first time, and their stock has plummeted. But I've got to ask you about microtransactions and activism. Activision? Activism, no.
Yeah.
Activism was the last segment. Activision.
Yes.
Yes. What are microtransactions sound icky?
So we've talked about Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for $75 billion, and then Sony came up last week and was buying Bungie for $3.6 billion. And we looked into it, and why did Microsoft want to spend $75 billion to buy Activision Blizzard? Activision Blizzard did $8 billion in revenue. Mm-hmm. 60% of that was from microtransactions, in-game transactions. If you buy a skin for an extra shirt for your character, or a new sword, or some little thing for the characters that are inside the video games, or if you buy an enhancement, or you make your player stronger, or whatever. If you're a sports guy and you're playing golf, you buy some fancy golf balls or something. Those are called microtransactions. It's only $1. It's only $2. It's only $1.75 for. And it's not you're not dropping $100 at a time. It's small transactions that you just don't think of. It's only a couple of bucks. Okay, but boy, that looks really cool. I want that for my avatar. And you made $5.5 billion on microtransactions last year.
Yeah.
And Microsoft bought you for $75 billion.
Tell you what, it's not the only spot where this is going to be happening. Sunday, this is going to be happening a lot.
Absolutely.
Microtransactions on DraftKings and FanDuel and Caesars and MGM. All these things are going to be in major play Sunday, which is kind of why I brought this up. Is when you open up your mobile sports betting app, it's going to be very, very easy to say, is the next play going to be a run or a pass? I'll put $1 on it just for the fun of it. Will a field goal hit the upright? Yeah, I'll put $2 on that. Why not? Let it ride.
Will they score a touchdown on this play?
Yeah, why not? Whoa, you should see the odds on that. It's crazy. Like, if it's over 30 yards away, the odds are so astronomical. It's ridiculous. And then as they get closer, you see those odds drop to the point where it's no longer worth the investment. Like, if you're looking at first and goal, the likelihood of it not paying off makes it not worthwhile.
But 3rd and 4 from your own 34-yard line.
Oh, I'll put $1 on that to win $10,000. Sure, all day long. It's crazy, the lottery mentality that just enters our mind. With the bigger the pot, the less likely we are to actually win, but the more likely we are to wager on it. We got a break. Checking your money now. Checking traffic. Coming your way next. I'll talk 107.3.
Picture this. You're trying to hire someone to buy their website, but it takes forever to load and looks
I'm trying to get all my bets in before the Super Bowl, and I want to put my phone down during, except for halftime, where I will be active on Twitter.
Okay.
But I don't want sports betting to overtake my love of sports.
I won't have to worry about that. I'm not a sports gambler. I know there's nothing wrong with it. I'm glad people do. If it's something you've enjoyed and wanted to do, go for it. I've never gone to a casino and put down money on any sports activity.
Well, don't start.
I'm not.
Don't start, because once you start,
Oh, I know.
it's a beautiful thing. It's wonderful. It's fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
I know what my personality's like, and I don't have enough money for my personality.
So I have developed a little equation combined with some if-then statements that I'm not ready to say I've solved in-game over-unders, but I'm hitting at about an 82% clip right now.
Nice.
So I think what I'm doing is good. It takes a serious aberration for me not to get it. I'm hitting the overs more than I'm hitting the unders. I need to look at that and figure out why. But there's math.
In football or is
Basketball. More the NBA than college. College is more volatile. And the over-unders are much lower. But in the NBA, you don't think about how ridiculous the point scoring gets. But there's okay. If the game is tied going into the fourth quarter and the numbers add up to be where it's going to be the under, I hold off on it because a tie means overtime and overtime means an over. There's a couple more that factor in.
But that's in-game betting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you would have to see. I don't usually start watching the NBA till sometime around June.
Yeah.
Like I probably have not seen more than 10 minutes combined of the NBA this season so far.
The crazy part about the in-game over-under thing is you don't even have to really watch the game.
Really?
It's all math. It's all math. Because once you have nothing but math, you've removed emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So forget about what they score on a normal basis. Look at what they're scoring that night and that night alone. Forget about what players are hot, individual players are hot, because you can only score a maximum of one basket per trip up the court. So you're looking at how many of those conversions are there. You're also looking at, the only time you're looking at star players is when you're looking at foul trouble, which is one of the if-then statements. Is if their top two scorers are in foul trouble, back off of the over. Because you're going to reduce the percentage of conversions. I know, I'm removing all the fun from it. It sucks.
No, that's
But-
fascinating.
I wanted to Billy Bean this bad boy, or Bill James this bad boy from the start. And so far, so good. It's, as I experiment further with it, so it doesn't, NBA after the halftime, so anytime in the third quarter is like a good gauge. College, it's a little bit harder. You have to wait till longer in the game to get a more sure, because college is a game of runs. NBA is more consistent. So it doesn't translate to college as well as it does, and it certainly doesn't translate to individual players. I'm learning that the hard way. But again, for $2 a bet, if I'm betting 5 or 10 on the game itself and $2 on the player, I'm still netting a positive number. Which is why what did we start? 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago with the in-game, with the mobile? 2 weeks ago. The conference championships in the NFL were the first weekend, right? So I started with a $50 deposit. Then I put another $25 in for another bonus I was getting. And I'm well over $200 2 weeks later.
Cool.
It's working. Small increments. Baby steps. I just realized that nobody on YouTube can see what I'm dancing, hear what I'm dancing to. It's that had to look dumb. Oh, Cup of Tech Gumbo rolling right along. He's Haggai Davis. Haggai, that was Snoop Dogg.
That was Snoop?
That was the Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
The
look
D-O-double-G.
cool.
Yeah. It's going to be a heck of a halftime show. It's going to be so much fun to see everyone in their 40s just drop it like it's hot. Everyone in their 40s. The only way to make this halftime show better would be to have Juvenile and Jubilee on stage. No. So now we're really getting into it from a New Orleans perspective. We're talking about back that thing up. Oh yeah. That's Juvenile.
Sorry.
Yeah. And then DJ
You know
Jubilee.
what? Those are
Come on.
a couple of nouns to me.
Let's talk Facebook.
Facebook's in trouble.
Oh, I don't know where to start on this, but let's start with Facebook loses daily users for the first time. This is so fantastic. I didn't even realize I don't even look at Facebook anymore except to do this. And I'm sure I still register as a daily user. When my phone shows me I have alerts, I open up Facebook, I look at what the alerts are to see if there's anybody to respond to, and then I just move the heck on.
Yes, you're a daily user if you do that.
Okay.
But in the United States in the year 2021, there was 1 million fewer daily users just in the U.S. alone.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go to Africa, Middle East, and Asia, it was dramatic drops. And that's where you think Facebook is going to be adding the most users.
Because it's a growing, you go to growing markets for them.
Supposedly
Yes.
growing markets for them. The daily users were going down there more than anywhere else. Now, don't cry for Facebook. That means they went from 1.93 billion users per day to 1.92 billion users per day.
Yeah. They're
So
not hurting.
There's still, 30% of the planet going to Facebook every day.
Right. So
But for the first time ever, that number went down.
I would like to get deeper into the numbers to find out how many people are like me, though. Because Facebook has ruined themselves with you've got to be a member of 100 different, like every person I know on Facebook asks me to like their business as well.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to like your business, but now I have to go into my settings to eliminate seeing any messaging from your business, which, by the way, means it's a waste of time for me to like your business. But I don't want to be flooded with ads. I don't want to be spammed out of my mind. Groups that I'm a member of, I don't care. Like, I've eliminated so many of those too, just because I don't like opening my phone and seeing I have 150 Facebook notifications.
And then all of the political rhetoric, whether it's to the right or the left.
Oh,
I mean, I have unfriended at least probably half the people I was friends with on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to check my Facebook 3, 4, 5 times a day. Now, if I'm once a day, just like you, I mean, it's a lot. And
Yeah.
I may go 2, 3 days sometimes without looking at it. And, and I'm old, so I mean, it's still, Facebook is still the medium for the old folks like me. Young people are not going there at all.
No.
The idea that it used to be, hey, you got to be 13 to get a Facebook account. If you're 13, you don't want a Facebook account.
right.
And Instagram is suffering even more than Facebook. And so
Because Instagram is stuck in that window where you never appeal to the older generation and you're behind the 8 ball with the younger generation, and Reels is not the answer.
no, Reels is Facebook sunk a tremendous amount of money into Reels to try and compete with TikTok, and it's like your daughter's basketball team trying to compete with the Lakers. I mean, it's not even close.
It depends on who's hurt. For us, not the Lakers. Meanwhile, the stock plummets 26% in its biggest one-day drop ever. So, do we take anything away from this, though?
Facebook lost 26% of the value of their stock in one day.
Yes.
The largest single loss by any company ever in one day. They lost more money than the budget of Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana combined in one day.
That's impressive. I'm not even mad.
And, yeah. So Zuckerberg himself lost, however many millions of dollars, and it's just paper money to him. He lost billions of dollars. And
Oh, exactly.
so he went from having $150 billion to $112 billion
Right.
in a day.
Right.
Do you think he's worried about
No,
that?
no, I don't. And that's part of the problem, though.
And so when your whole value is tied to stock as opposed to revenue, because their revenues are not going down yet.
Yet. Let the numbers sink in. Let those internals sink in for folks like you and me, which is a huge chunk of who they are.
Well, their big problem as well is Europe.
Oh, we got 2 minutes. We got to cover this.
Okay,
Yes.
one of the things Facebook wants to do is they want to take all of the data from the users' profiles and everything that's in Europe, and they want to run those numbers back here in the U.S. They like to have that everything done over there in Silicon Valley. Well, the European courts have said, no, you can't move that data across. That data has to stay in Europe. And Facebook is very, very concerned about this because their deal has been, this is Facebook's rules across the planet. We can't say these are the rules in Europe, these are the rules in America, these are the rules in Australia, these are the rules in Asia. They are not going to do that. And so mostly because they're afraid of the federal government's going to come in and split them up.
Right.
If they allow this to let the European courts dictate how they run their company, Facebook is over.
Are they, though?
They're going to pull off. They'll pull off out of Europe entirely. And
that's why they're over. It's not about whether or not they have to adapt to Europe's rules. It's about hubris.
And you're going to see quite a showdown.
Yeah.
Where if you take all the people in Europe and say, sorry, you can't have it. The advertisers in Europe.
Yes.
That's who it's going to really hurt. Not mom wanting to go see her grandkids.
All those topics plus Tech Next. Tech Next is on this week's
Yes,
Tech
it
Combo,
is.
correct?
Yep.
You can get it Saturday and Sunday at 4 right here on Talk 107.3 FM and wherever you get your podcasts. He's Haggai Davis. We always appreciate the time.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, so if Mark Zuckerberg were to say we're coming out with Eurobook or Eurometa or whatever, and made it its own thing, don't let the data intermingle. Let Europe be Europe.
He can't do that.
Why?
Because that opens up the door for the federal government to come in and split Facebook into at least three. WhatsApp is so in the United States, we don't understand how big WhatsApp is.
Oh no, we do. Well,
most Americans don't, because we have text messaging on our phones.
Right.
They don't have text messaging in Europe. They don't have text messaging in Latin America or South America or Asia the way we do. And WhatsApp is so powerful. You pull WhatsApp out of Europe, and you cause chaos.
Yeah.
You rip Facebook out of Europe, and yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. I mean, if you're a business that depends upon a lot of your revenue because you advertise on Facebook, and now all of a sudden you lose that ability to advertise directly to users, your business is gonna hurt. And
as it should. You're backing the wrong horse. You're trying to advertise on a venue that was not originally created for advertising. It's a venue that was originally created to determine if chicks in other dorms were hot.
I get it, but that's not how it's played out over the past 20 years.
No, I know, but every time you morph it, you get further away from your core, and every time you get further away from your core, you lose your mission, and then you end up lost and mired in. I'll go through my Facebook notifications right now. Okay. Somebody I've never heard of sent me a friend request. I'm friends with 15. We have 15 mutual friends. I don't know who they are. First name's Kenny, Keni. I don't know who that is. Do I know the people that are connected to them? No. So I'll get rid of that one. What's next? Barry posted in Metro Baton Rouge then and now. This is cool. It's old pictures of Baton Rouge.
Oh.
I actually do click on those. Jennifer posted in Keep Tiger Town Beautiful. I'm not going to be able to go. Like, we had Jennifer Richardson in talking about picking up trash. I love their concept. I joined their group, but I'm a father of three. I'm not picking up trash on a Saturday morning. I'm hauling kids to either basketball games or birthday parties. Rick, Eric, and Holly commented on your post. My AirPods keep dying on me. The left ear only. I wonder if there's something. I should go to techgumbo.net and send a question.
Yeah. You can go to techgumbo.net and see the purple and canary yellow explosion. We did launch the techgumbo.net if you want to go check out our website. It's a work in progress, shall we say. It's in beta.
It is in beta, yes. But my point was submitting the question to win the mug, which I've already got a mug. So,
yeah.
But
why would only one?
I don't know. And I'll pull it off the charger, and it'll say it's like the right ear is 98% charged, and the left ear is 87% charged, and the base has its full charge as well. And then I'll put it in, and I'll go to the gym, and I'll be on the treadmill for 20 minutes, and it dies.
Have you cleaned out the charger with a Q-tip?
No. Am I not getting a good connector at the bottom?
That's
Connection
what it
at the
sounds
bottom?
like.
Okay.
I would get a Q-tip
see?
with a little bit of alcohol.
Asked and answered. Good job.
Just wipe out the inside. There may be some dirt buildup in there.
Daryl commented, or Daryl added a picture to, Daryl Orso, former councilman. Yeah. Old images of Baton Rouge. This is essentially the exact same group as Baton Rouge then and now.
Morning, Daryl.
Well, no, he's not watching right now. I'm just running through my Facebook notifications.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Alan and Marcus commented on my post. Kerry Guglielmo posted in the brand. He's got a show coming up today. Christy posted in Acts Retreat Ministry. That one I actually read. But, like, of these, of the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, another one for Keep Tiger Town Beautiful, another one for Keep Tiger Town Beautiful, another one for Keep Tiger Town Beautiful. Like, these are my notifications all day long, and I'm reading 20% of them at most. But more importantly, that little icon with the bell right there, that's the only part of Facebook I look at this point. You know that part with the little home on it where you could just scroll? Rarely am I there.
Why? Why would you? Eric said you can also take an eraser and rub over the contacts, the end of it, Kind of like you used to do on the little cars that went around the racetracks with the where you had to race off the skids.
Okay.
You could try that too.
All right. I'm down.
How about that for an old school reference?
Right?
Where you actually had physical cars going around a track, not something on a video screen.
I mean, what's next? The magnetic board football? All over the place? I haven't checked in on comments in forever. Eric says Gary going to come for him some JBE now. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And eventually I'm going to put up a video about that because that is self-destruction of the Democratic Party.
Byron, what are my thoughts on chicken horse?
Oh, this has been all week long. This is after the last time you were on. So I believe it was Monday. I put a little poll question up on YouTube.
Oh,
Would you rather fight one horse-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized horses?
I'll take the 100 chicken-sized horses.
You've made the right call, my friend. Jake says one horse-sized chicken because the overwhelming number of 100 of anything is just too much to...
No. You could take out the...
See,
take out
everybody
the
who gets the mental image of an actual horse-sized chicken, like, oh no, you don't bleep around with that. It's the best question ever. I don't even remember who asked. We asked these 10 questions when we have new employees in our Monday meeting. I wish I could remember who asked that one. One day, the Swedish House Mafia is going to do halftime of the Super Bowl. And that is just Nirvana. No, actual Nirvana, not the band Nirvana. They're never doing the Super Bowl halftime show. That would be Hologram. That's who that song is, coming back in, Haggai. Yeah, Don't You Worry, Child, by the Swedish House Mafia.
Thank you.
They're, if there were such a thing as an EDM supergroup, that's what they are. He's Haggai Davis on his way out the door right now. I always appreciate his time every week. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot more fun during the breaks, too. You think it leaves the rails with me and Franz? Oh, it's there as well. All right. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Busy hour this hour. State Treasurer John Schroder in our next segment, talking about putting some cash back in your pocket with lacashclaim.org. lacashclaim.org. Visit the website today. You could have some leftover dollars from a previous deposit put somewhere. We're going to walk through all the different possibilities, not all of them because it's borderline infinite. How infinite, wow. How does the money end up there to begin with? That's what we're going to ask John. How do you go about getting your money back? We're going to ask him that as well. And just some success stories. I know there was one guy in New Orleans had $250,000 sitting there. He was homeless. And I got to get the backstory on how they connected with the treasurer's office. But you got a guy who's homeless, was able to buy his old home back. Ridiculous. Top stories and trending coming your way in just a minute. Before that, though, it is still the heart of carnival season. It's the heart of king cake season. Parades aren't really in full swing just yet. Although we got a dog parade downtown this weekend. A lot of parades start up next weekend here in Baton Rouge. Artemis, Orion, South Downs, Spanish Town. That's all coming up in the future. So we don't have to talk about hitting the parade route yet. But I will talk about king cakes because Mathern's is your Mardi Gras headquarters. Mathern's has got you covered on the king cake front. I've been telling you all week long about the wedding cake, king cake. So good. So good. We're a traditional king cake household in the Haldane house. This might have made us converts. Opened our eyes to the possibilities of what's out there. Mathern's has got you covered. Downtown on 3rd Street or Nicholson, right across from Tiger Stadium. And oh, by the way, full-service grocery store. Oh, by the way, underrated salad bar. Oh, by the way, underrated hot bar as well. Deli counter, sushi, you name it. They got it over there. They'll hook you up. Mathern's on Nicholson and the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center. They are right across the street from Tiger Stadium. Yes, they are on campus. No, they are not just for students. Time for top stories and trending. Let's roll. LSU will no longer require masks inside buildings on their campus starting Monday. The university put out a statement yesterday. University spokesperson said Monday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Due to decreasing COVID case rates on both campus and both on campus and in the Baton Rouge area, effective Monday, February 14th, all classes will resume a delivery modality as listed in the course catalog. Yeah, that means you don't have to wear a mask to class anymore. Let's talk about those declining rates with... Oh, the numbers went down again. 2 days ago, we were at 1,538 COVID patients in the hospital. Yesterday, that number was in the 1,400s. As of noon yesterday's numbers, it went down even further. COVID patients in the hospital is now in the 1,300s in the state of Louisiana. My screen's just not refreshing for me. It's just not refreshing. This is over the course of a little more than, 2 weeks, the number has dropped by more than 500. Patiently waiting on my screen to refresh. The number of folks in the hospital is down. The number of folks of new cases are down as well. Where we were seeing numbers in the 5 digits just a couple weeks ago, I want to say it was somewhere around 2,700 as of the numbers from noon yesterday. 1,357 COVID patients are in the hospital in Louisiana right now. Now, the number of new deaths is still alarmingly high, 72 folks yesterday. Now, I say alarmingly high. It wasn't that long ago where we had the Delta variant, and the Delta variant was showing us numbers in triple digits on a regular basis. The Move BR, or is it Move EBR, project is promising big changes to the busiest roads in the capital area, including Lee Drive. Oh, there are going to be so many growing pains with this, y'all. Fred Rayford with East Baton Rouge's Transportation and Drainage says the top complaint they receive about Lee Drive is the lack of turning lanes, which they plan to address with the Move BR improvements. When somebody wants to turn and traffic's going both directions, it backs up traffic for many blocks, says Rayford. The current plan for Lee Drive is to build a center turning lane, making the entire stretch of the road from Perkins to Highland 3 lanes total. Bicycle lanes and sidewalks are also on the list of changes to expect, which, that's... Take a busy street, add a left-hand turn lane and bicycle lanes. If you're a bicyclist in Baton Rouge, do me a favor, whether they put a lane in there or not, stay away from Lee Drive for your own safety. Lawmakers announced yesterday the creation of a committee to review how Louisiana State Police handled the 2019 arrest that ended with Ronald Green's death in police custody. Speaker of the House Clay Schexnayder said the bipartisan group of lawmakers will review all levels of the incident, which will include seeking testimony from various people involved. The Select Committee will hold a hearing shortly after the conclusion of the current special session and include the following House members: Tanner McGee, Tony Bacala, Jason Hughes, Edmund Jordan, Mandy Landry, C. Denise Marcel, Richard Nelson, and Debbie Villio, all going to be on this special committee. Grabbing this one from The Advocate, a plan to redraw Louisiana's 6 congressional districts cleared a major hurdle yesterday when the House of Representatives voted to advance a proposal from House Speaker Clay Schexnayder that doesn't stray far from the existing district boundaries and maintains the status quo of a single majority black district. House Bill 1 faced near uniform opposition from black Democrats who joined a chorus of civil rights groups in arguing that the proposal violates the Federal Voting Rights Act. Several attempts to amend the bill to create a second majority black district failed on the House floor. The problem they're running into here is the Voting Rights Act and the geography just don't match up, and we've seen courts shoot down previously proposed districts, previously held districts. We've talked about Cleo Fields' old district a lot, and it just doesn't pass in the courtroom. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're of the belief that we base population number should be represented across the board. It's just it's not playing out the way it would via the plan to have a second majority minority district. That's a look at your top stories. Here's a look at what's trending this morning. Warrant Officer Tatiana Julian is taking her place among history makers by becoming Louisiana Army National Guard's first black female pilot. It is Black History Month. Let's talk about making a little bit of black history. Julian's from New Orleans, enlisted in 2014, graduated from Warrant Officer Candidate School in August of 2019 before finishing flight school July of last year. She now serves as a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter pilot in the 224th Assault Helicopter Battalion in Hammond. Quote, "We often don't realize what kind of impact we have on other people's lives," Julian said. "I feel like I now have a responsibility to let young females know that aviation is an option for them, even though it's a male-dominated field. There aren't many women and even fewer black women in aviation, both in the military and on the civilian side." Good on you, Julian. Very nicely done. First black female pilot in Louisiana's Army National Guard. All right, that was top stories and trending. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, State Treasurer John Schroder wants to put some money in your pocket. LACashClaim.org up next. Oh, man. Oh. Getting all the way back to before Haggai came on, talking about Gary's ad and the felonies. Eric says, how many of them are innocent and didn't do anything for their felony? Well, ask them. They'll tell you. Every one of them. Galen says 25% of black felons are in Florida. No. It's 25% of the people who were disenfranchised from their right to vote are in Florida. Florida has a tough standard. Florida's standard for getting back into the voting game is harder than ours. So you got to dig deep inside the numbers to get to it. It's kind of screwed up the way it plays out, but Florida provides for a disproportionate number of black felons who can't get back on the voting rolls. But after all, they're Florida, for crying out loud. Christian says it's Gary Chambers. What did you expect? He needs to Oh, Bezos. Mythic Quest on Apple TV. No, I have not. Galen asking another good question. Given that voting turnouts in a good election are between 33 and 50%, does that mean 1 in 26 black Americans are prohibited from voting? Damn good question. Of those 1 in 13, how many would actually exercise that right to vote? Yeah, 718, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Shouting my rejoin because I have no idea if that's the clean version or not. Halftime show of the Super Bowl is going to be lit, y'all. Snoop, Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. I can't wait. Oh, and I'm told a number of surprises. Looking forward to it Sunday. Before we get to Sunday, though, how about putting a little cash back in your pocket? State Treasurer John Schroder has taken the Unclaimed Property Program to the next level with LACashClaim.org, and he joins us now. Treasurer Schroder, good morning. How are you, sir?
You sound like you've had a lot of coffee this morning, sir.
Oh, skip past coffee, straight to the Red Bull for today. You get to this phase of the week, and it's all systems go.
Well, the good thing is it's Friday, and 7 days a week at Treasury you can get money. And it's amazing how hard we have to work to get people to do this. And they respond. I mean, we've done a lot of claims, but we can do a lot more, Brian. We get a new $100 million in almost every year. So we're just coming off our annual time of year where the money comes in between October and the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So we're flush with cash. We've just launched a new program. As you just said earlier, it's LACashClaim.org. We even have a new little mascot called Cash. And I think a lot of people have seen our commercials.
Yeah, I've seen the commercials on TV. Of course, heard them right here, and I do the spot every day as well. And it's so Treasurer Schroder. It's a remarkable program. I've known about the Unclaimed Property program for some time, but you kind of turned the corner on it to shed some light on. First of all, it is our money, but the state has been using it as a bank in the past, and I know that's part of your mission is to make sure that our money belongs to us and isn't being used to leverage our future.
Right. Well, it took 3+ years to get that through the legislature and get the governor to sign it, but that won't happen this fiscal year. You know, it used to be whatever money was left over at the end of the fiscal year was spent in the state general fund to the tune of about $900 million on paper, and so now that won't happen anymore. We'll invest the balance, and it's a good thing, Brian, because it does two things: protects the money that belongs to the citizens of Louisiana. The program was designed to do that. Right. And but nobody ever questioned it. And really, you know why nobody ever questioned it? Because they always had money left over. Well, my first 2 years in office, we did not have enough money to pay claims, and there was no place to go get it.
Right.
So so that's sort of caused a lot of talk. You know, a lot of people were paying attention to it, so it has driven helped drive our claims, and we went to $70.2 million last year. But it's been 4 years, and you're in the business of promoting and marketing, and so was I. So that's one of the skill sets I brought to the job, and so we rebranded it. We rebranded it when I got there. We rebranded it again after 4 years, and hopefully this does the trick.
Yeah, it's spending the state's money. The argument for it is the money's just sitting there. Why not put it to use? But the argument against it is it's like wearing clothes out of the lost and found. I mean,
well, I'm going to go a little further than that. It's not their money.
Exactly.
Quite simply, I don't care what excuse you come up with. It's not their money. If you met an untimely demise and you bought a life insurance policy for your wife and your children, but they didn't know about it. And Brian, this happens all the time. You buy a little policy, your wife doesn't know about it. 5 years pass by, it gets turned over to the state, and they don't know, they can't find you. Well, at the end of the fiscal year, they spend it. Well, there's nowhere in those documents that you say, you know what, if this money gets lost, just give it to the state, let them spend it. That rubbed me wrong from day one. So yeah, we fixed that, and now we spend more money on marketing. But it functions, it works, so technology has allowed us, it's pretty much a paperless process for most people, not all, but for most people, it's a paperless process now. We have a check out the door in 48 hours. Beautiful. Check out the door in 48 hours, which means, well, I guess I wouldn't have time to take that money and put it down on the Super Bowl, but, I could look towards recouping my losses from the Super Bowl for sure. No, but you can borrow it from your wife or your friend because you know it's coming. Exactly. Exactly. I could show them the website and say, see, here it is right here. Uh-huh. All right, let's talk about where all the money comes from, because I think this is an important part of the process, because the number of people who will hear the ad or see the ad on TV or see cash or whatever and say, hey, I keep track of my dollars. I know where my dollars are at. This isn't me, and never even bother to go to lacashclaim.org. Let's talk about all the different, or not all the different possibilities because they're seemingly infinite, but a number of the possibilities where the money could come from. Let me tell you one that nobody ever thinks about. Gift certificates. Gift certificates. So Walgreens, Walmart, really any restaurant, any business that you buy a gift certificate from and you give it to somebody for a present and they don't cash that gift certificate, after so many years, it gets turned over to the state of Louisiana. So we have a lot of people. Well, let's say it this way: the average claim is $900. So there's a bunch out of less and a bunch out of more. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of gift certificates between $50 and $100 in that program. But it's a lot of things. There's another one that's a lot is deposits, utility deposits, rent deposits, old payroll checks. And just lost checking accounts. And you wouldn't believe that would actually happen. But I think I may have mentioned to you in the past, last November, we found a homeless man who had a checking account in the system for 18 years that was well over six figures, and he was homeless.
I believe $250,000 was what you had said.
Yeah, 258,000 to be exact. So we've actually befriended the gentleman and helped him on a few different issues. But it's just, I tell people, 1 out of 6 people have money in this program. Check it and check it out. It's easy. Just go to lacashclaim.org and you can check your friends, you can check your families. There's millions of dollars for businesses, and people in business typically don't check.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Churches. A lot of money for churches and nonprofits. During the heart of the pandemic, we gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to the food banks that had money that were lost in the process.
It's amazing how all-encompassing this becomes. And when you think about it, though, when you've got $900 million or more sitting there, it's got to go somewhere. Like, your portion of that is going to be on the board at some point. Tell me the story about the homeless guy. Because as I was teasing this interview, I promised you would share that story. And it's such an amazing story. $258,000. He was able to buy back his old home. So how did y'all hook up? How did y'all connect?
Yeah, so during the pandemic, we were trying to figure out how to keep people working. So my administrative team that works for the executives in the office, executives were working from home. So the administrators, we had to find some things for them to do. So I turned to everybody who were having some issues with not going into the office. I turned them into unclaimed property investigators. They sort of like that title. And really, Brian, they comb the internet, checking obituaries and things like that to find the larger claims. Well, one of our staff worked on this big claim and started with an obituary, and it led to some phone calls back and forth, and located this guy. What was strange about this deal is his phone number had been the same for 22 years. But being homeless, he's just got one of those flip phones, that he's maintained. But he obviously didn't have an address. So what happens is the banks, after so much time, the banks by law have to turn money over to the state of Louisiana. It's a dormant account.
Right.
So they turn it over to the state of Louisiana, comes to the Department of Treasury. My team grabbed it. And during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, we made a extra effort to go after the larger claims because those get just set aside. And they just pile up, because we get claims every day. So the staff, they're just working on regular claims, right? Well, the big claims and things get put off to the side, and they never went back to. So now we have a team devoted just to that. So we find this guy, and it's a pretty good story. And I actually had a chance to meet him right around the end of the year, and he was losing his house to the city of New Orleans for unpaid taxes, and I took him down there. We helped take care of that. We have him nice, safe, and sound in a place. He's been homeless since Katrina. Some contractors went in, took advantage of him at his house, and his house really isn't livable right now. But it was a complete jungle. We with some help of some people around New Orleans, went in, cleaned it all up. You can eat off the front yard now. So he's safe and sound. He's a veteran. He's about 70 years old. So we're working, doing a little cash management with him to try to help him figure out how he's going to live his senior years. And he has some money now that he didn't know he had.
It's such an amazing story, and I can't hear it often enough. And this happens more than once. I mean, $258,000 is more the exception than the rule. The rule, more often than not, you're going to have a smaller amount within the account. Got 2 minutes left with State Treasurer John Schroder. We're talking about lacashclaim.org. That is the website to go to find out if the state is holding on to some of your money. John, I got to ask you. I'm going to make this personal now. Okay. My dad's in there.
Okay.
My dad's been passed for 10 years now. As of this year, 10 years. How would one go about claiming dollars that belong to a deceased relative?
So do you have any heirs? Are you the only sibling?
No, well, so my mom is still alive.
Okay, so your mom can make that claim.
Okay.
Brian, the area where it's the sort of the grayest is on airships, because look, we have to be careful because you may call and or have a claim, and then you have a sibling that calls and has a claim. So we don't get in the middle of airships, but we typically work through all these. We have a couple lawyers on staff now, and my attitude was this: at some point in time, you get to a dead end, and if you have to stand there, swear, and attest that this is your money, I say give it to them. It's not my money. Give it to them. If they're doing something shady, they'll have to answer to St. Peter.
Okay, fair enough. It's not that much money. It's like $25. My dad got pissed off at Hibernia and moved to a different bank.
Your mom can call the office, and we try to get those things out really, really fast. We're not checking your last five born over $25.
All right. LACashClaim.org is the website. Treasurer Schroder, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the ramp up on the efforts. I mean, this is one. The Unclaimed Property Program has been around for a while, but this is next level.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the shout out.
Always.
It's important.
Always. Yes, sir.
Right,
7:31. Yes, we'll talk to you soon. 7:31. Talk 107.3 FM. Here's CBS News. Yo! Good morning. Nothing at all. I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bro, the Honey Pot, huh? Disney Plus?
Got some good stuff.
So,
It's like the one you've been waiting for,
So, I'm a huge fan of National Treasure to begin with.
Are you really?
Oh, God. Ask my wife. It's annoying. It's one or two. I don't care. If it's on, I'm watching it.
Because I haven't seen it in a long time.
I'm actually more curious about the content than the business this time around.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, normally it's the bit. Normally, like, this is Celtic. This is Blue Bonnet. This is, like, behind Costco. These are jobs. That's the important part here. And I actually had somebody ask on Facebook about the actual job numbers. And I'm like, well, this is a tangible product that's going to produce residuals for some time. We're going to see, and the more successful the show is, the longer it's going to stay here.
Think about the tourism implications. If you can get a few seasons under your belt and have people coming here, and you can do a National Treasure tour.
Yes.
Bring them to all the different locations where they've shot. Yeah, I mean, puts Baton Rouge on the map for sure.
Definitely.
And Disney people are excited about their Disney stuff.
Yes.
It's a passionate fan base.
Which, hey, Jake, kill the mics for 1 sec. what would be tangible, what would the content look like, that sort of thing. Cool. You know, I've been a fan of it from the start. And anybody who comes around and says, oh, it's cool to have movies filmed. It's not cool.
Right.
It's cool to be able to pay your mortgage.
Yeah. Cool, like the cool factor is like the little additional benefit, the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And there is, like we talk about the tourism impacts and things like that. I mean, that also amounts to money at some point, but, you know, it's less about that and more about building an industry where,
Right.
you know, our people can stay and live here and work here, and, you know, our graduates can not have to move away to LA or New York. And our businesses, you know, get a little bump. And
In a growing field where those skills are translatable to all of us. We're because of social media, we're all members of the media. Like, they're
well, it all blends together now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're making content for social media. Yeah.
commercials, videos for websites. It's all like, you show me the website that doesn't have video today, and I'm going to show you a website that everyone's going to ignore. So, graphic design, all of this stuff. Like, if you got somebody who's working at Celtic all week long and then has a side hustle helping out businesses that can't afford to hire a full-on marketing, it just, all of these things contribute to it. And at the end of the day, the cool factor is just, I'll never forget when True Blood was going on. Oh, so good. A lot of East Philly Shannon in that one too. But when True Blood was going on, somebody posted, "Oh, it's cool. I saw Vampire Bill and Sookie over at Sullivan's." And I'm like, what I just heard was, I heard another table was full at Sullivan's. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
737, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. So, I'm sure you saw the announcement earlier this week. Actually got this one from the mayor's office before Celtic hit us up. National Treasure, a Disney Plus series starring Baton Rouge. Catherine Zeta-Jones is on board. No Nicolas Cage, because they're moving it to the small screen from the big films. This will be a series, not just a one-off movie or a sequel movie. Joining us now to talk about it, he heads up Celtic Media, Aaron Bayham. Aaron, what's happening, man?
Oh, yeah, it's a good week. It's an exciting week.
Yeah, I bet it is. This is
finally kind of get it out there, you know?
Yeah, exactly. This is a project, this has been a long time in the works?
A little while, yeah. I mean, certainly towards the end of last year, you know, some of the prep had started, and we've been having conversations with ABC about this project for since pre-pandemic, really. And so, of course, the pandemic messed everything up, and things got, you know, delayed and pushed out. But yeah, to say it's a long time coming is an understatement.
Absolutely. Well, and so Celtic Media, you guys have shifted and adapted in so many different ways. From back when Patrick set things up in the flood and like taking on people to live there, to hosting exhibition like gun shows or whatever, to actual film work that you were actually built and created to do.
Yep.
This is kind of, I've been calling it the honeypot, a recurring series, work that's going to be regular. This isn't one-off work. This is where you want to be.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we've always said, you know, series are the holy grail. You know, and I'm sure there's a National Treasure kind of tie into there with Holy Grail and, you know, finding lost treasure and things. But, you know, series are so great because hopefully they continue for years and years. And so it's not just a one-off project that comes in, stays for 6 months, you know, and they spend a lot of money, but then they're gone.
Right.
With series now and these scripted series for streamers, you know, that they have you know, the probability of them now continuing for more than a season is much higher, especially with the advent of streaming. And, you know, it's less likely that they're just going to say, we can't afford this, we're not going to do this project anymore. I think they go into these kind of projects knowing, you know, that there's at least 2 or 3 or 4 or more seasons that they want to get done.
Right.
And so I think that'll be the case with National Treasure, where, you know, we'll see them around a lot longer than just, hopefully, this first season.
Do we know the premise? Is the premise the same as National Treasure, like Nicolas Cage as Ben Gates? Like, is it the same basic treasure hunting, or are they taking on a new role here because it's a series?
Well, it's in the spirit of that. I think it's going to be a fresh take on it. It's in the spirit of National Treasure, in that there's going to be some clue finding and trying to figure out mysteries and see these mysteries from the past that come up and the things that. And again, I haven't read the whole script. You can go on IMDb and kind of get a synopsis, but the lead character is a Latina American girl who is 20 years old. She's a dreamer, and she sets off to explore and discover the mystery of her family history.
Okay.
With the help of her friends to recover historical lost treasure. So, there's that lost treasure element, there's the mystery element, these clues that she's going to grab along the way and try to, uncover these mysteries.
So, do we know what treasure? I might be making this too Louisiana based, and I've been pitching this since the first National Treasure came out.
Yep.
Jean Lafitte. How have we not made this a National Treasure movie to begin with?
Uh-huh.
Like, how is that not the original Nick Cage as Ben Gates? Like, how is that not? I'm going to kidnap Billy Nungesser. Like, how is that not a thing?
Hey, there's always season 2. I don't know what the treasure is in season 1. If I did, I couldn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certainly, when you look at the history of Louisiana and even Baton Rouge in particular, there's so much rich history here to draw upon if you know about it.
Right.
And so a lot of people that aren't from here may not know some of those, deep, interesting mysteries that are in our history, but hopefully some of those get to come to light in a show like this.
Let's talk about the important part first and then the fun part second. Okay? The important part is jobs.
Sure.
This means jobs here in Baton Rouge. Secure jobs, not one-off jobs. And I'm not talking about just catering jobs. I'm talking about, nothing wrong with that, but what kind of jobs will this project entail?
This show in particular, they're going to be hiring, hundreds of people by the time it's over. And, I don't think there's a trade that it doesn't touch. And I always say that about the film industry. If you have an interest in anything, it seems like there's an application for that in the film industry. So, of course, we know the construction, the guys swinging hammers, the grip, the electric guys that are hanging, cable and truss in the air. You got the makeup people, the costumes people, if you're into fashion, you like clothing. But even deeper than that, on the post-production side, we've got visual effects. Crafty Apes is a local, they're an international company, but they have a local office here, and they're just gangbusters right now hiring digital effects artists. And so even if you like to sit behind a computer and sit in a dark room and play with computer programs, there's an opportunity for you there. And so, and it goes on and on. You look at the credits at the end of a film, and you see the number of people that worked on these projects, and it's just wild how much goes into making, a show like this. And so, absolutely, they're going to be hiring people. They're hiring as many locals as they can find. We're trying to train people to come up in the industry, showing them the opportunities that are available, and, giving them a chance to get their foot in the door.
How did we get this win? Has Disney given you any background as to what were the deciding factors and where Baton Rouge really shined?
I think there's a lot of factors involved, and they go very deep. There's the financial part of it is always important. That they can come to a state like Louisiana and get more bang for their buck here. We've got a deep crew base here, so they know when they come here, and vendors that support the industry. Of course, Celtic is a huge draw, we think, because we have the facilities in order to support a project like this.
Right.
And so when they're considering all these things, they have to think about, sure, I can write for a certain city, but if we want to go there, is there infrastructure and people and vendors and facilities that are going to be able to support us? So I think we kind of offered the entire package here. How Baton Rouge in particular got into this storyline, I don't know the origin of that yet. I hope to find out.
Well, there was another Disney project you were working on before. Or was this the same project and you just weren't telling us yet?
No, of course we had Crater last year, which
That's
was
the
a
one,
feature,
yeah.
but it took place on the moon, so it could have been shot anywhere. And it hasn't been released yet. We're excited to find out when it's actually going to come out. But that was a feature film that was shot by Disney for Disney Plus, and so this will be a series that will also be on Disney Plus.
So, roundabout way where I'm going with this is bringing us back to the film tax credit, which it's questioned all the time. Like, why are we giving out dollars in order to get business? And I would argue that if you don't give out the dollars, you don't get the business. So you're not giving away anything because it wouldn't be coming here. It wouldn't be yours in the first place.
That's right, and that's the game that we're playing at this point. I mean, almost every state in the country has a film tax credit that they offer, of varying amounts, and so there's no putting that genie back in the bottle now that there's incentives, unless all the states get together and say, hey, we're not going to offer incentives anymore, which is not going to happen. We have to be competitive. And so if we want the industry here and we want to be competitive in the industry, this is the game that we play.
The film tax, you're going to love this. And you feel free to steal this one, okay?
Sure.
The film tax credit finally has a direct comparison to college football.
Come on.
Name, image, likeness. It's recruiting.
Sure.
It's all
absolutely.
recruiting, right? Brian Kelly put together a class this year. NIL deals abound. Why aren't college football fans saying, well, we've done it once, why do we have to keep doing it? No, you got to recruit always. Right. The second part of this is, well, look at all the dollars we gave away just to get football players. You're never, ever going to hear that argument. But when it comes to the film tax credit, which is a direct comparison now for you've got a recruiting process you've got to handle, and you got these we'll call them tax incentives on this side or NIL deals on the other side. It's apples to apples at this point.
Right.
So
see, I thought you were going the way of we can get football players into films, which we could also do probably. But yeah,
my brain just exploded.
Well, you remember Les Miles? He was in.
He was
a short acting career and a couple of things locally.
He played a NASA scientist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was a police officer, I think, something like that. But anyway, so now,
so bad.
Absolutely, if any of these college students have aspiring actors, there may be something there.
My point was that recruiting's never over with in football or in film. Let's get to the cool part. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this. That's a big name.
Yep.
Ocean's 12. I know everybody knows her from Chicago. She's so good in Chicago.
Yeah.
I always drop Ocean's 12. But so this is one example of star power is staying power. And if you want to see a series stick around, you put a big name behind it. I think Disney's commitment of, they got some up-and-coming actors as well. Like Schroder had up-and-coming actors. Yep. They've got some up-and-coming actors in this one as well. But Catherine Zeta-Jones is a pretty big name.
Sure.
So putting her in this series suggests that it's going to be around.
Oh, yeah, and I think, again, all the conversations that we've had have been, multi-year conversations, multi-season conversations. So you never know in this industry what can happen, but, I think everyone's planning for more than just a season. And it's an established franchise that, as you've said, a lot of people love. And have an affinity for. So this will be a new kind of spin, a new twist on it, but it's going to be rooted in that same kind of exciting adventure franchise.
We've got to get National Treasure 3 on the big screen. Got to get Gene Lafitte's. It's built for us, man.
Yeah, we need to work up a pitch.
What's next over at Celtic? Is there anything you can share with us? I know everything's got to stay close to the vest, but what can you share with us about what y'all are working on?
Well, kind of the funny thing is that, this project and its size and the amount of stage space that they needed, they've, for the most part, taken over the studio.
Really?
So
that's awesome.
There's not a whole lot for us to offer other projects at the moment. Now, there are other projects looking at Baton Rouge, and certainly we're trying to facilitate those and help, either with office space or small amount of stage space. But really, it's going to be National Treasure for the next year or so for us, and some other things sprinkled in, and hopefully there will be some other projects that come to Baton Rouge as well. But as far as Celtic goes, I think the footprint that these guys have, has been such that we don't really have a lot of space to offer.
It's nice to have a plate full. It's even nicer to have a plate full of Disney.
Yeah, we've had to turn away projects, which is not something that we're used to over the years.
Right at a time where we're starting to see the fruits of the content creation during the pandemic, where they couldn't make anything. So filling it up quickly is a good thing. Hey, 30 seconds left. What is Baton Rouge best at in film?
Oh, that's a hard one. Of course, everybody around here is so friendly to film. I think, that's always the impression that these people get from the outside, when they come in here.
Yeah.
Along with that, everybody talks about Southern hospitality, but just even finding locations, right? When you have a show like this that's going to be, say, half stage and half on location, there's a lot of location work on this project because they're going to be showcasing Baton Rouge. And so when they go to these locations, They don't get a lot of, straight no's. It's usually people willing to work with the film industry and understand the value and are excited about it. And so I think the ease of shooting in Baton Rouge is what's so unique.
Love it. Love it. The ease, the natural resources that come along with that. I know it gets to be trite after a while, but the fact that Louisiana plays a character in whatever it's in.
It's
unless it's Battleship.
It's going to be the star of the show for sure.
Yeah.
The mayor's office, I should add, is always in the Baton Rouge Film Commission, who works under the mayor's office, helps with making it so easy to shoot in Baton Rouge, where it may not be that easy in other cities.
From a fan's perspective, from a consumer of the content's perspective, Catherine Zeta-Jones is a big name. But from inside the business, Jerry Bruckheimer is nothing to sneeze at.
No, I mean, how cool is it that we got a quote from Jerry Bruckheimer in our press release? And,
right.
Again, as far as producers go, and the Wibberleys, who are the writers and the showrunners, if you look at their resume, I mean, just some amazing projects that they've done. So we're really excited. I think it's going to be a top quality show. Not one that's just going to go quietly onto streaming and die there.
Last part, and this is about the content itself, about the show itself, and I don't know how much, like you said, you haven't read the whole script yet, but Disney, we instantly think of kids stuff, but Disney is so much bigger than that at this point. Younger Latin American. Is this a kids show, or is this for the grown-ups?
I wouldn't say it's a kids show. I mean, it's got, of course, young adults in it.
It's not like Zach and Cody, right?
I don't know what Zach and Cody is. What is Zach and Cody? I've only got a 4-year-old, so I'm not.
Hang on.
I'm
I
still
like
on
you better. I like you better because you don't know what Zach and Cody is.
I'm sure it's coming for me.
Hey Jesse, all the preteen shows that Disney ran with for they recycle them all the time. The one with the two twins with the blonde girl,
no,
this isn't in that genre.
No.
Okay, good. This is gonna be so much fun.
He's
there at Bayham.
I mean, it is a Disney show by ABC. So
yeah, I just don't want to gloss this
like Ozark.
Good luck, Charlie. Whoa, man. Yeah, right.
But
I don't get Ozark South.
I think it's gonna, I think they want to appeal to a broad audience, and certainly not little kids, but anywhere from teens up.
Nice. Aaron Bayham from Celtic Media. National Treasure is coming to Baton Rouge. So much room to run here. We got a break. When we come back, Outside In's coming your way next. Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how strong the recruiting comparison is. It's one of those ones that I woke up in the middle of the night and was like, oh my God. It was right after National Signing Day. And I'm like, so Brian Kelly never has to recruit again, right? Oh no, he's going to recruit every single year, every single potential college football player. So does film. Right. It's a constant recruiting process. And if it hasn't been put in those terms, I get not understanding why it's important.
Well, for me, it's like a competitiveness thing. So if you don't want the film industry here, then say, fine, we don't want it here.
Right.
If you want it here, these are the rules that are in place at the moment in order for you to be competitive.
But Disney's got 3 hats on the table, USC, Georgia, and LSU, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to pick up a hat and put it on signing day. Who offered them the best deal?
Yeah.
So.
It is, and it's not all about the money, but it's a lot about the money. And
it's a major part of the equation. Right. I mean, they're in business. Yeah. It's art, but it's also business.
Right.
So
I don't know if there's any amount of money that a Montana could offer.
Oh God, no.
That unless you needed that look, right?
Right.
But here you can come and shoot almost anything.
If you're Yellowstone, you might be in the running there.
But no, I'm with you. I think again, to a point, at some point you can say, okay, we can't afford this anymore. It's not a race to the bottom.
Well, it's a business for us too.
100%.
Right.
But what can we do? What's the number that we can do that allows us to be competitive and not break the bank?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
So that's where we are. Yeah, and in 2023 it'll be fun. Our sunset's in 2025.
Okay.
If we don't get it extended in 2023, we're going to be, scrambling at the last minute to try to get it extended. So.
I'm seeing some opposition from areas I would have expected to see opposition from. Richard Nelson from Mandeville. Bro.
He came out strong.
I'm like, first of all, I'm from St. Tammany Parish. We're taught better than that. Well, it's math.
But his district is one that's heavily impacted by the industry. I mean, it's basically a suburb of New Orleans. I mean, you have
Right.
And not I shouldn't
Without
say
the
that.
carjackings.
Yeah. And not taking anything away from the North Shore, people love the North Shore, and there's a lot of crew members that live on the North Shore and drive into New Orleans, and shows that are in New Orleans that shoot on the North Shore. So it's funny that he would be one that's so adamantly opposed to it
Right.
when it has an impact in his district. And we just have to show him the value of what it's doing for
Exactly. So,
his constituents.
well, I'll get back with you about the podcast
Yeah, let's do it.
thing. It's I like the idea. So, awesome. Thank you so much. And congrats, dude. Good stuff. Whoa, hey, okay. You had the clean one there. Excellent. Oh, we got CBS News coming your way in just a little bit. We'll talk with Aaron Bayham from Celtic throughout the break there. The film tax credit under its current iteration expires in 2025. So we're going to be looking for a re-upping of this at some point. I absolutely love the football recruiting comparison. Because it is a constant. You're rolling in new talent and rolling out new talent. Once it's done and moves on, it's done and has moved on. You're constantly recruiting like you are in football. So, yeah, let's take our foot off the film tax credit gas the second we take our foot off the recruiting gas in football. I would like to see what would happen to the LSU. Hey, we're established at LSU. We shouldn't have to offer NIL deals. That's a business that should stand on its own. LSU football should stand on its own. Incentives, what? No. LSU football's been around for a while. It shouldn't need propping up. Too much? Over the top? Don't care. Let's step outside of East Baton Rouge Parish for the outside in. How much is YouTube hating that take? I haven't even looked. I'm not going to look. We're starting off in Ascension Parish. One of the last people seen with a woman before her remains were found stuffed in a plastic container was arrested as a suspect yesterday evening. The Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office announced that 43-year-old Cedric Credit was arrested around 6:15 p.m. Thursday as part of an investigation into Crystal Scott's death. Scott's body was found January 28th in a truck left along Rue de la Bois Road with no signs of trauma and fentanyl in her system. Down in New Orleans, a 22-year-old murder suspect was shot to death during an arrest attempt Thursday morning when he met officers with a long rifle. NOPD said the shooting happened around 9:30 a.m. Thursday on South Robertson Street near Louisiana Avenue. NOPD Superintendent Christopher Goodley said members of the Violent Offender Warrant Squad were trying to make an arrest on a high-risk warrant when the suspect met them with a long rifle. Well, you know how the story played out from there. In Livingston Parish, police are searching for a missing 14-year-old girl who is believed to be in danger. State police in the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office issued a Level 2 Endangered Missing Child advisory for 14-year-old Destiny Taylor Pope, who was last seen at a residence on Highway 1036 in Haldane. Destiny's a white female with long brown hair and brown eyes, 5'5". She was last seen wearing a green John Deere T-shirt with black leggings. Destiny, according to police, has a mental condition, may have a mental condition that could impair her judgment. She is considered to be in danger. Closing out in Lafayette, where police are searching for the person wanted in connection with an ambush-style shooting that happened late Thursday night outside a business. According to police, a male victim was shot multiple times just before 10 p.m. in the 100 block of Kettle Drive. Police spokesperson Sergeant Robin Green said as the victim was walking out of a building, he was approached by a male shooter who fired multiple rounds at point-blank range. The victim collapsed, was taken to a hospital in critical condition. The shooter took off in an unknown direction. That's the outside in. Here comes CBS News.
Protect your retirement with SafeMoneyPlan.com.
Why did it take me so long not to come up with that recruiting comparison? The film tax credit's been around for years. National Signing Day has been around for years. Not only do we have National Signing Day, but when it was one National Signing Day, this company threw a party at the Atrium. I think it was over to the River Center for a while, too. Now that National Signing Day is split, it's kind of watered down. But we threw a party, and Tiger fans would pack the room to get faxes announcing where 18-year-olds were going to spend their next 4 years. We celebrate that level of recruitment, but this level of recruitment, oh, you got to realize, man, LSU football means business at Baton Rouge. So does freaking this. All right, let me look in YouTube just to see how off base I am. I'm skipping past a lot. I'll circle back. Oh, Anna, reach out to the treasurer's office about that. I bet you're probably, you and your brother are the best venues to get you your money. Well, we did a whole segment, so I'm skipping Department of Treasury. I'm not skipping it. I did a 17-minute live read. Mooyah, got you. Byron says, if you don't pay your taxes, the state will hunt you down like a bloodhound. If you have dollars, they should get back to you. They run commercials and create a mascot. Well, granted, I'm one of the ones doing those commercials, so I'm biased. But what costs more, an ad buy or an employee with medical and a retirement? The flip side of that argument, Byron, is your money. Why wouldn't you want to go get it? The taxes, they wrongfully look at as their money, so they're going to come get it. If you're the one due to collect the money, you're the one should be hunting down the money. I have no idea if I'm even taking myself seriously with that take, but I do like doing the smots. Most of the film tax pushback comes from North Louisiana, and it's not our fault. Studios don't want to make hillbilly productions and prefer South Louisiana. I'll disagree with you there. Richard Nelson is from Mandeville, Louisiana. That's the North Shore, but it is by no means North Louisiana. I still claim West St. Tammany Parish is home. East St. Tammany sucks. I still claim West St. Tammany Parish is home, so that's my backyard. Richard Nelson is from Mandeville. His district. I used to live in his district. I lived on Coffee Street, 3 houses on the lake side of the tracks, which is now some kind of bike trail. Used to be railroad tracks. We go pick blackberries. They had blackberry bushes all over the place. A lot of snakes, too. But it's a long time ago. Anyway, yeah. Lived in Old Mandeville as a kid. That is not North Louisiana. It's just the North Shore. And Mr. Nelson, Representative Nelson, could not be more off base here. I can only conclude they want the platform to play Santa. See, I don't think so. And I think this is where the treasurer is going to run into problems running for governor, should he finally decide to. He's going to. We all know this. He hasn't made it formal yet. But one of the problems he's going to run into is he is a great public servant and a terrible politician. And I say that with love. Like, he doesn't know how to pit his opponents against each other. He doesn't know how to play negative politics. There's a level of purity to what he does. I don't think he thinks he's playing Santa. I think he thinks he's doing the right thing because he is doing the right thing. It's very easy to see where you get that take on the outside. I don't know. He's cut from a different mold. I don't know that he'll survive. Cut my thumb and can't text now. Ah, gotcha. We'd be in good hands with him if he should run for governor. We'd be in good hands with a lot of people should they run for governor. But it takes a politician to get it done. So, hey, I got to give you Ott's phone number. I hear him down the hall. My man. With his head bobbing as if he just walked into Kenny's Key West, Rocco's in the building. Limos by A Confidential. Hour 3 of Mornings with Brian Haldane coming your way right now. Brian here with you, Jake producing. Got a busy hour. This hour. Super Bowl is Sunday. Whew. It's the first Super Bowl where you can place a wager from your phone. Legally. We're not talking about, someone coming by to break your thumbs. We're talking about legal wagers. Jimmy Ott, the Yacht Father, is going to join us next to talk about, honestly, what's hot in this regard. I mean, are we talking about people just taking the Bengals minus the 4.5? I think that number's dropping. The Bengals minus 4.5? We look at the over-under at 48.5 for the game. Or, I love this about the Super Bowl, the prop bets. I've already got money on tails. I bet on the coin toss. The over-under on the national anthem is at 1:31. There's actually reasoning behind taking the over here. It's going to be fun. Sunday's going to be a different level of Super Bowl. The LSU connections are so over the top. You've got the guys who brought us the greatest season in the history of LSU football are now on that much bigger of a stage. You got the betting angle. You got LSU on both sides, oh, by the way. Let's not forget Odell Beckham Jr. and Andrew Whitworth. I know Odell could be an abrasive personality from time to time. He could turn some people off from time to time. I get that. He's still ours. Raised in New Orleans, went to LSU, made the catch, the one-handed diving backwards grab. NFL LSU happening Sunday, and we can place wagers on it. Hey, we're getting you to This Day in History in just a minute. Before we do that, though, I got to tell you about the folks over at Mooyah Burgers, Fries, and Shakes. Love telling you about Mooyah on a Friday because you can cut loose a little bit heading into the weekend, right? Oh, also, you heard the forecast from Marissa Nuzzo. That temperature's going to get back up in the 70s today. One of the best parts about it not freezing outside? Milkshakes. Yeah, Mooyah's got it going on right now at both locations. Bluebonnet at Highland, Segan just north of Industrialplex. That's kind of my home base. It's a little bit closer to home, so that's the one we visit more often. Doesn't matter which location. You're going to get the same top-quality service. You're going to get the same freshly cut vegetables and ingredients. You're going to get the same certified Angus beef. You're going to get the same freshly baked potato buns. The sweet potato fries are just next level, especially when you dip them in honey. Mooyah, burgers, fries, and shakes. I'm a double Diablo guy. If you like it spicy, you might be like me. If you like it cheesy, might I suggest the best case scenario? If you know what you like specifically, build your own. Bluebonnet at Highland, Segan just north of Industrialplex. They're Mooyah, burgers, fries, and shakes. All right, it's time for This Day in History. Jake, what you got? I'm putting $1 on Cincinnati's kicker to be the MVP.
Honestly, though, it's not a bad take.
Never been a kicker be MVP.
If there was a kicker to change that.
I mean, he's kind of a bad man. So
He's ice in the veins, as they say.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's also this day in history. We're going to start things off in 1794, the first session of U.S. Senate, open to the public.
Okay, open to the public.
Yes.
It's the people's house.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when we talked to Russell Honore, that was a difficult task after last January 6th, protecting the Capitol while protecting the fact that it's the people's house. It's a difficult task.
Quite. 1809, Robert Fulton patents the steamboat.
Oh.
1878, I have two things that happened on that day.
Yeah.
The first U.S. bicycle club.
In Boston?
Boston's bicycle club forms. Also, same day, same year, first weekly weather report published in the UK.
I've got to know if it was an accurate forecast.
Probably not. 1968.
Oh, Oh, God.
Madison Square Garden the third closes. Madison Square Garden the fourth opens.
I didn't realize that Madison Square Garden had ancestors.
I didn't either until just now.
That's fun.
1990. You've done it every single time so far this week, Brian. 1990, the 40th NBA All-Star Game in Miami Arena, Miami, Florida. East beats the West 130 to 113. Who was the MVP of the 1990 NBA All-Star Game?
90, we're getting towards the end.
1990.
Magic Johnson.
Ding, 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 ding! Nailed it.
Awesome.
1990, same day, same year. It's probably a lot more important, actually. Nelson Mandela, released after 27 years of imprisonment in South Africa.
I really thought, when you said it was going to be more important, I thought you were going to talk about Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas.
No.
Okay.
No, this is just
good.
This is more important.
I'm glad this was Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
Way better.
96. 46th NBA All-Star Game in San Antonio. East beats the West 129 to 118. In 1996, who was the MVP of the NBA All-Star Game?
Edgard! 6'6" out of North Carolina is Michael Jordan.
Correct.
That's that one I know. I'm a big Jordan fan.
Of course.
Some of these have been guesses, but the Michael Jordan stuff I know. So.
Well, this one, I'm interested to see what you got. 2001, the 50th NBA All-Star Game.
Oh,
Washington,
Lord.
D.C. East beats the West 111 to 110. Who was the MVP of the 2001 NBA
I legit
All-Star
don't
Game?
know this one. This is a wild stab. I mean, it's an all-star game. It doesn't count. It's like practice. I mean, what are we talking about here, man? We talking about practice? We're not talking about a game. It's an all-star game. It's an exhibition. It's practice. Please tell me it was Allen Iverson, or that's going to look stupid.
You are correct. It was AI himself who was the MVP of
crazy.
the All-Star Game. You've nailed every single one of them this week, and it's actually kind of impressive.
That's weird. It's seriously like the Michael Jordan stuff I know. The rest have been
Well, hey,
wild
with this
hairs
kind of
based
luck,
off of
with this kind of luck, let me know what your bets are for the Super Bowl. I might double down.
Cincinnati minus 4.5, over 48.5.
There you have it.
I don't know why that half scares me.
That's all the events. Let's get right down to the birthdays. Jennifer Aniston, 52.
Okay.
Taylor Lautner turns 29. You may know him as Shark Boy from Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
So, okay, wait, stop right there because this is important. Dial it back to the Disney conversation from earlier.
Yes.
That's where we would know Taylor Lautner from, before he was a werewolf or whatever he
Twilight,
was.
I think, yeah.
Was he a vampire? I don't know.
He was a werewolf.
Whatever.
What? Were you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Come on now.
I was Vampire Bill, man. I was no in the world of Twilight. I was True Blood.
Khalid turns 23. Thomas Edison was born on this day in 1847. Fun fact, I recently learned about this. He is actually not the inventor of the light bulb.
Oh?
Yeah, a bunch of people have been like perfecting it over the years, and he kind of had the breakthrough. Natalie Dormer turns 39. You know her from Game of Thrones. Alex Jones is 48. Thought you'd like that one.
He's my favorite. You know how hard of it? No. I can't let the cat out of the bag.
Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Kelly Slater is a famous surfer. For those who don't know, he turns 50 today.
Is there such a thing as a famous surfer?
Indeed, there is.
All right.
And Sarah Palin, 58 years old.
Excellent.
That is all the birthdays I got. What do you got for me, Brian?
Jabari Greer, former New Orleans Saint.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to all those mentioned.
Wait, did I have another one? I thought I had another. Did you say Jennifer Aniston?
I did, of course. That was the first one.
I thought so. Did you say Brandy?
Like, you're a fine girl?
No, like the R&B star.
Oh.
Yeah. And no, that was the other one was Taylor Lautner.
Well, happy birthday to all those mentioned. I only have one death to talk about. Whitney Houston passed on this day in 2012. This is the 10-year anniversary of her passing.
Yep.
That's all the deaths I have. Rest in peace to her. Holidays. National Latte Day.
Okay.
Satisfied Staying Single Day.
Okay.
National Make a Friend Day.
Okay.
And finally, National Inventors Day.
National Peppermint Patty Day. I despise peppermint patties,
Really?
but I understand.
Come on, it tastes good and it makes your breath, like, not awful. Come on.
No. I don't need those two combinations together.
Come on. You don't like
I can
mint
do
chip
one
ice
than the
cream?
other. Nope.
What?
Nope.
You don't like mint ice cream?
No, I do not.
I mean, cookies and cream is the best one, but come on, man.
No,
We'll have
give
to
me
carry this
sweet.
over to
I don't.
YouTube.
I don't
We'll have to
need.
carry this
Yeah,
over to YouTube.
I don't need mouthwash in my ice cream.
By
Thank
the way,
you very much.
subscribe on YouTube.
I'll brush
Donate
my
to Brian
teeth after
Haldane.
the fact. That's fine, but I don't need it in the ice
Come
cream.
on, man.
All right, quick break. Hey, when we come back, Jimmy Ott. We're talking betting in the Super Bowl next. Oh, yeah. Let me go grab it. Well, let me go grab it. My 8:30 news break.
Dude, I want more airtime on 107.3, dude.
We're doing this.
Come on at 8 and do an entire hour with Haldane.
We can do that. I mean, not this time, but I don't know yet. I doubt it. If I haven't gotten a call yet, I'm sure I'm not. Are you? Yeah. I was told they're just calling people one at a time. I told Kelly I don't have to be.
How many times have you done?
I've teamed 3 times. So I was on 2. I teamed 3, 4, and 6. I don't want to take a spot that would belong to somebody who didn't get to do 6. Like, it's just I feel selfish.
You know because you've been doing it, that you gotta get the new blood in there too. But
Right.
also you need enough of the old guys to kind of steer
Yeah.
the boat, you know.
Yeah.
So,
But
I
like,
told you, dude, I mean, I was going. I mean, I was going. Period. I don't care. And I told Kelly, I said, look,
Hi, is this Jimmy Ott?
it's
Let's talk 107.3. How
what's
are you?
amazing is the difference you're going to
We're in
see
the middle of break right now.
because
We're gonna do live in just about a minute.
when you're a retreatant,
Okay.
it's all about your own process. But when you are a team, you hand off 100% and you just serve, and it feel like it's so much better. Honestly, I get more out of teaming than I ever would have as a retreatant. But it's a completely different vibe. Yeah. Yep. It's good. It's amazing.
I don't ever see myself. I'm giving a talk, dude. I told him. Yeah, I don't
Whoa,
know.
whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, are the microphones on? Jake, are the microphones on? Kill them for. Another Snoop as we're preparing for the Super Bowl and rolling back in with songs you might hear at halftime. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Mary J. Blige, your feature performers for halftime. So let's talk about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is going to be a little bit different, a lot of bit different. Right there in the palm of your hand, we've been using our phones to communicate via social media as a secondary screen for all entertainment venues. Well, now we can use them to earn some coin. This will be the first Super Bowl where mobile sports betting is legal in Louisiana. I could think of no one better to turn to than the Ott father himself, Jimmy Ott. Welcome aboard, sir. How are you?
What's up, Brian? How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you on this morning?
Oh, look, man, getting dressed, getting ready to go to Rufino's and talk about sports, betting on the Super Bowl and other stuff with Handy. I mean, I ain't never retiring, baby. Never.
You're never resting either. I mean, I would imagine this weekend is going to be just jam-packed, just with the headlines, the movement in the lines, just everything that surrounds the Super Bowl garners as much attention as the Super Bowl. So, oh, wait, you know what? Before we get started, and we don't have the drop to go along with it, but I've got to shout out the Otterlocks on Moscona's show. Thursday especially, because Colucci never fails. I made money last night. Thank you.
2-0 on Otter Locks, the Moscona show, and then his appearance at 6:30. 2 more at 4-0 for the night. A favorite Queens native. I mean, he's a special cat, man, and one of the nicest guys in the industry too. Just, I mean, he's coming on there. I had 5 people, man, a couple of lawyers and and Jolie Pearl last night. Who's Colucci got? Who's Colucci? I mean, he is
the movement.
Yes, he has turned into some hockey fans down here. He was on a heater last year, and he started off kind of 50-50, not losing anything, but just
right.
And then he's on another heater again. He's really, really good, and he's some of the guys in Beeston that they come on my show. I go on there and say, probably the most respected sports gambling network in the country. They do their show out of Vegas at Circa in the South Point. And even those guys says, you're a Bayou legend, Colucci. And I mean, if you ever heard him, he can be confused for some of them guys in the Jerky Boys tapes back in the day.
So he's Frank Rizzo for sure.
Rizzo. Exactly. He's great.
So yeah, it's funny. Thursday nights we have basketball practice with my 9-year-old daughter, and I'm coaching the team, and we're sitting there in the parking lot of the YMCA, and Abby's like, "Can I go in?" I'm like, "Not yet." Well, you can go in. I'm gonna stay here for a minute. Practice starts at 7. I'm not leaving until the Colucci segment's over with. I mean, I hit on the Flames, the Avalanche, and the Penguins last night as well. So all good. All good.
Way to go, man. He's like Robin Hood, man. Stealing from the rich to give it to the poor. I mean, we'll take it.
Darn right we will.
He's a great. How about these props, huh? My sponsor, Bet Rivers, like over 650 props on this game. You know what the original prop was, Brain, was that it was Refrigerator Perry, whether or not he would score a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
In that Super Bowl. Yeah, Dick has won Super Bowl championship in New Orleans against the New England Patriots. And, it's blossomed into this. Now, listen, there are a lot of props, roughly 75, 80 on the Sunday night and Monday night games, Thursday night and stuff like that, the standalone NFL games.
Right.
But the Super Bowl is the one that everybody talks. You can only break down the game so many times.
Yes.
And so props, everybody's talking about them. Every show I've done, they want to know my favorite props. We want to know all of our guests' favorite props. So we're kind of comparing notes and all this other stuff. The one that's had the most movement, Brian, is the opening kickoff to be a touchback. Yes or no? Now, a lot of kickoffs in the NFL. I think it's like over half, maybe like 60%, are touchbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Super Bowl, they use a commemorative ball. They don't let you warm up with it. As soon as it's the kickoff is over, they put it in a box. It goes to Canton, and that's it. 26 of the last 28 opening kickoffs have not been a touchback. Only Harrison Butker for Kansas City against San Francisco, and then a kickoff specialist, Brian Dauscher, for the Atlanta Falcons. All else have been returned, and that line has gone from -210 to pick 'em. So you lay in over 2-1 to pick 'em now. Everybody's betting the trend on this one that it's not going to be a touchback.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't even in on that one. Yeah, I was starting off with the coin toss, but I did not know that the commemorative ball angle. That's awesome.
I mean, look, coin toss. I mean, Brain. It's a popular one, but man, even I have standards. I mean, I'm going to bet on a coin toss. I mean, I've been accused of stuff before, but I know it's fun. But I'd rather, for the attention deficit disorder crew, okay,
yes,
we going with the kickoff. The kickoff, but just wait, it'll be over. You can bet the over under on the national anthem at a minute 35. So our late friend, the great Ruffin Rodriguez, would always say, country singers under, R&B over. So there you go. You always would get excited about the national anthem over under.
Well, we have a country singer doing the national anthem this year, but I was told take the over anyway. I'm sorry, say that again. You cut out.
No, I mean, if it's a country singer, I mean, go with the under. But, I mean, these are just fun ones. The touchback, I'm gonna put a little something on that. Another one I'm gonna put on is a lot has been talked about the rough matchup for Cincinnati. Their offensive line, they've allowed the most sacks in the NFL. Pro Football Focus does a win-loss rate for defensive lines. The Los Angeles Rams are number one in the league, their defensive line. This is a brutal matchup. Joe Burrow has to get rid of the ball quickly. And, that's what they're going to do. They're going to run some screens. They're going to run some draws. They're going to run some really quick stuff where they really don't ask him. So, for instance, longest pass by Burrow, 39.5. I'm going under.
Okay.
And, I'm going with, the running game as well. We're going with under Joe Mixon with his rushing. I think they'll load up the box a little bit more as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of quick things. And so anything that has, as far as longest reception by Chase, longest reception by T. Higgins, I'm going under with all those because I just think that there's going to be very few times where Joe Burrow is going to ask for, to really have enough time to go long down the field.
Yeah, it's a darn good point. I mean, he could end up with the 3rd and 17 scenario against Texas where he's got to make time for himself, but putting money on that is probably not the wisest of choices. That being said, though, Burrow flushed out of the pocket. Burrow is faster than Aaron Donald. I'm definitely in on the over on Burrow's rushing yards.
I would agree, and I think that started with Tennessee when he was sacked 9 times in the divisional game. And that's the thing about the game overall, and that's why it's fascinating. And look, we're biased over here. We favor Burrow. He's got to be. Could you imagine getting into NFL games as much as people have around here outside of the Saints? I mean, it's a really neat deal. And so he's the miracle man. He was described as Houdini, getting all those sacks against Kansas City over and over on 3rd down to move the chains. And he's going to be running for his life again. And that's the thing. On paper, the Rams should win this game. But guess what? On paper, Kansas City should have won the game. On paper, Tennessee should have beaten Cincinnati. And the thing about it is, if you get sloppy, like Tennessee did, Ryan Tannehill was averaging about a half of an interception a game. He threw 3 in that game. Pat Mahomes from first half to the second half, the biggest variance in QBR, quarterback rating, in the history since they've been making that stat. So they got sloppy. You get sloppy and keep Joe hanging around, or get conservative like McVay did against Tampa Bay, he's going to grab you at the end.
We got Jimmy out for a couple more minutes talking about the Super Bowl. So Burrow's obviously popular here. Where's the money at nationwide? Are the Bengals the fan favorite right now all over the nation?
Interesting. And usually when the lines first come out, and so when the conference championship games were done, those lines came out. And that Sunday evening and Monday in Las Vegas, the sharp bettors bet it from 3.5 to 4 to 4.5. Or some places open up 4 and bet it to 4.5. It was 4.5 for a while. And as we get closer and sort of the casual bettors come in, the recreational bettors, it's going to all Cincinnati. So it's down to 4. And it's been, so no 4.5s as of 2 days ago. As of last night, we started to see a 3.5 or 2 pop up as the Cincinnati money comes into play. How about this too? This will tie into sort of cross over into some more of the political stuff. But anyway, most people arrived today for all the parties in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yesterday, Nevada lifted their mask mandate. So there you go. So gotta have those parties with the happy clientele and also maximize your business. But Cincinnati, and I think by the time it goes to kickoff, I think we could be looking at 3.5 at most places. So. And that's what I said on Otterlocks a couple of weeks ago. I said, if you can get 4.5, get it now. I just think normally they bet the favorites, but this, not just Baton Rouge, but all over the country, minus Los Angeles, people are falling in love with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals team.
He is infectious, to say the least. One last one before I get you out of here. The over-under on the game itself. I'm looking at 48.5. Golly, I never sweat a half a point, but my word, in this one, it looks like that's going to make me sweat.
It's always, the house always gets overaction in the Super Bowl. People don't like to pull for, okay, throw an incompletion, let's get a punt. They don't pull for punts. They want to, a big bulk of the action, the handle, comes from people betting what they want to cheer on.
Right.
It's just that simple. And so I expected this thing to go up higher. It's held the whole time at 48.5. I thought it would go to 49 and 49.5. It still may, but it's something about that house keeping that line at 48.5, knowing they're going to need the under. So it always, and with the matchups on this thing, I think it's going to be really close. Like you said, Brian, I think that's going to be really close to the number. If I had to bet it, I like to be on the house's side. I would take the under, but it's not. I don't have a strong opinion on it either way.
He is Jimmy Ott. You can catch him on 104.5 ESPN right after Off the Bench is over with, on location at Ruffino's today. Appreciate your time, brother.
Good luck, man. Thanks, buddy. And good luck, man. Coach that Mercy 9-year-old team to a championship.
14-1-1 last year. We rule.
Yeah,
Talk to you soon, Jimmy. Later.
All right, man. See you.
Later. Here comes CBS News. Noon. Yes. We got to raise this up.
They had the bigger table, and I told Kerry I would just grab this because I thought it was normal height.
Let's get the bigger table.
No, it is normal height. We can
No,
let's.
the other leg, so
They don't pull out.
do they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, there's little.
You don't know what you're talking about, Haldane. Here, man, let me just move. Everything else is fine. So just move the grade.
Oh no, I gotta flip it over to do it.
Try. Look, I want to let y'all know. I baked y'all some cookies. So
What? Hey, let's look fresh baked.
I baked them. They're very good. They taste exactly like Otis Spunkemeyer cookies, but they are actually baked by me and the elves at Rocco's. And we put them back in a wrapper just in case we have packaging and shipping.
Yeah.
So
Just
we
keep
brought a pack for the kids at home, for the kids,
For the kids.
for Jimbo.
keep the St. Paul boy out of the dish.
Try, yeah, this guy's in St. Paul. My godchild goes there. My best friend's son, he's got twin boys, and he goes there, and I'm always ribbing him.
Country club school.
What?
Those guys, dude. St. Paul dudes. Let me just tell you.
Calico was not a country club. You know that, Haldane.
Calico!
Whatever.
Amateur Coriezu, man. What is y'all saying? Blessed be the heart of Jesus, Jesuits,
Live Jesus in our hearts.
for the greater glory of God.
Live Jesus in our hearts.
Let Jesus in our hearts.
Live Jesus in our hearts. Forever.
This sunbugger's gonna fall.
No, we're good. So the plastic table I've been using is actually my desk right now because I haven't put my desk together. Sitting up in my office, so.
You need to get it together, man.
I need to sit still for 5 minutes.
Really need to get it together.
All right, what are we building today?
Crescent City combo.
Crescent City combo, my favorite. You gonna do that to me before I go weigh in?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
That was the whole point. I saw the scale. It said, "Come weigh yourself." I said, "No," and I walked off. Trying to get my weight down, Or up. Or down. Hendrix Gin. Is there anything in here? Oh, it's full.
Can't do gin.
It's empty. Shit.
Yeah, somebody sneaks in and steals all the booze.
But we haven't acted here.
They need more than that. There's a
I'll go get it. There's
right here.
Oh.
No, that roll's gone. There in the
We
menu.
used that all last time. Oh, no.
Nope.
Yeah, I was heavy on the paper towel because of the roast beef and the gravy. It was heavy.
There it is. Yeah,
That's all you need is these.
we're good.
What time did we going on?
2.5 minutes from now, right at 37. We'll do the last two
Watch
seconds.
right. Ba la 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 di do di di la di ba di do. Do-da, do-da, oh. I've got a great story to tell you.
Oh?
When I went down for Thanksgiving, we've been going to the Rouge because the kids were real little. Every Thanksgiving we go down there, and the city just still has its ambiance. It was right. We were right across from the Orpheus. The Sanger's right over here.
Yeah.
I got up early in the morning, and we'd go down there to the street and just go walk around as the sun was coming up. I have a concealed carry, so I'm not worried. Somebody comes up to me and I've got to.
Is his
defend
mic on?
myself.
Okay.
I'll do what I need to do. Right. But I was amazed and surprised when the sun came up. And around 10 o'clock, how many people that were actually hanging out on Canal Street, burning the hellfire right out in public, like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Like just every street corner.
Yeah.
They're just smoking pot.
Yeah.
I did not see one cop anywhere.
No. You wouldn't. They don't arrest for that anymore.
Well, I just didn't see any cops. Period. Is my point.
Oh.
What is New Orleans? Being from there, as myself, what is the one thing that the New Orleans police were always, always, always known for? Besides corruption. Let's leave that out.
Aside from corruption, what was the one thing that I was known for? How specific do you want to get here? Because I will say,
I'm just
towing
talking
your
about-
ass off the neutral ground during Endymion.
Right. Let's talk about the good aspect of what they were one of the best crowd control police forces for years. Rivaled New York Police Department, right? They're losing 2 officers to 3 officers every month.
Yeah.
To Jefferson Parish or what have you. So it's just crazy.
We have the similar problem here in Baton Rouge. Let's dive in. 837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. So it's not Foodie Friday, but we are diving in with a Foodie Friday-ish aspect here. And I've been trying to figure out how to bottle the content that is Rocco, how to make sure we can replicate that, how to make sure we can bring Rocco to the masses on a more regular basis. This shouldn't be once a year to make a roast beef and then we don't see him again forever. We need more regular Rocco, so we're just going to do this once a month now. You don't have a choice. You got to be in here. Rocco Moro from Rocco's New Orleans Style Po' Boys. What's happening?
Well, first of all, thank you. All right. So much for the kind words.
You're very welcome.
I was, been after Gordy for years, standing on the sidelines, looking in from the looking glass, going all the way back to the Chime Street location.
Oh, my.
And he wouldn't put me in, Coach.
I mean,
he just wouldn't put me in. I don't know what I had to do. I tried even being super, super nice to Miss Beth, bringing her roast beefs at home.
I don't know if that doesn't get you where you need to be.
No, it got me nowhere.
No.
So it's kind of like I said last time I was done with you. I'm done with him.
Right.
But then he comes to me, and you were with him, and says, what do you think about? And I said, man, we just went on this retreat not too long ago, remember?
Oh, we did. Yes.
Saved by the blood of Christ and redeemed. Little did I know at the time how much of an impact this would have on me. And when Gordy decided to put me in the game, my world has changed. Now, often imitated, never duplicated.
Get him a Kleenex.
Never duplicated. But the truth of the matter is that we have a really good time when we do this.
Yes, we do.
And it really is something that we should bring to the masses. Give the people what they want.
This is what I'm saying. This is why you're here.
What did Frankie and Johnny say?
Let them have it.
Let them have it.
With no problem.
So guess what,
like
people of Baton Rouge?
8 people just got that joke. 8 people got that joke.
But that's what the beauty of this relationship you and I
Yes,
have. And in addition to that, the people that have made Rocco's what it is are in the know, and they know what that is.
Yes.
Just like Rocco's po' boys, 3358, Lucilla Lane.
Not bad.
You know what that is?
That's Rosenberg,
There you go.
1825 Tulane.
I mean, I can go on forever.
You could.
Today from 9 to 5 p.m., there will be a full liquidation sale on all furniture at John F. Long's. I mean, come on. Do you need me to keep going?
You're not going to stop till I hear an Al Scaramuza.
The best one by all commercials that he has.
Yes.
All right. Now, first of all, let me tell you a little tidbit about that Scaramuza, right?
Yes.
So, you know, Seafood City is very pretty down on Broad and St. Bernard, right?
Yes.
So at the end of it, if you ever see that commercial, go on YouTube and check it out.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the actual Seafood City warehouse, and everybody waves by.
Yes.
There's one brother up in the front. Everybody waves to the right. My man waves to the left. So,
because it's one big wave, all in unison.
And I'm telling you, bro, he brings it from down low and wraps it all the way around. It was like he was doing a dunk or something when he was waving.
I love it.
But the best commercial is when the guy, and the acting was absolutely horrific.
It's got to be horrific or it's not good.
Of course. And so that's the stick. I get it. And my man falls down. Scaramuza's in a medical jacket, a white coat. What's the matter? What's you need a little? He gives him the crawfish. I feel good.
The guy eats the crawfish like it's a life-saving pill.
I mean, you know. But that's what the thing that we were talking about before we went on air when we were talking about the city.
Yeah.
And I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to touch on, but, you know, we go down there every year, like I was telling you, for Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for Thanksgiving. Of course, we couldn't go because of COVID.
Right.
And we go to the Roosevelt. Been going. The kids were little. They had a tea they used to do, and blah blah blah. So we, you know, it's one of those things, and you know, so we go, and I was just shocked. Number one, now the city, the ambiance, it's as beautiful as it's ever been. As far as just if you take it in and look at it for what it's a gorgeous place. It really is.
Yeah.
The architecture. The historic buildings. I jumped in and went to church at the Immaculate Conception of Jesuit Church. I mean, it was like it was in Italy when I was in the church. It was so pretty, you know. But, you know, the boomalachi, the scanja, the herb, the weed.
Oh,
I mean,
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
You know, they're smoking on every corner. My youngest son, Rocco, because the two other kids understand. They know what that smell is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in high school, you know. And so he's like, hey, what's that smell, Papa? I said, son, they burning incense. Don't worry about it. Keep walking. Get to the next block.
Did you really tell them they're burning incense? Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, the incense, they must burn a lot of incense here.
Oh, a lot. A lot.
So Jill's 6 blocks up the street, and they had a dude standing on the street corner, and I was 3 blocks south of him. And she's waving to me, calls me. She says, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm standing here getting a contact high. I'll be there in a minute. Keep walking. I mean, it's so unbelievable. It's crazy. Whatever.
All right, let's rewind just a little bit. Check out my Twitter avatar. Check out the man on the far right.
Outstanding.
That's Al Scaramuza.
Yes, and he actually is back selling crawfish and stuff.
So I'll share a little 60-second story as well. My me making my bones in radio was during Katrina, and I was working the board for like all of the New Orleans radio stations got shut down. I mean, demolished, right? So all the big ones from New Orleans were broadcasting from over off of Hilton Avenue up here, where I guess they're called iHeart now.
Yeah, Clear Channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where I got my start, was working phones post-Katrina and working the board post-Katrina. And in the immediate aftermath of Katrina, and I mean like less than 24 hours after the storm was passed, when everybody was still up in their attics, I took a call from Al Scaramuza in his attic
Wow.
begging for help.
That is unbelievable.
Please, we need state
Yeah.
police, we need National Guard, please. I can't, we don't have an axe up here to bang our way out or anything. So, cell phone dies mid-call. And I'm like, oh my word, like, I just had Seafood City on the phone. Is he, like, I just did not know if he's okay.
Yeah.
Fast forward 3 years to that picture right there. Well, it's a little more than 3 years because Abby was obviously born for this one. But we're at a crawfish bowl competition in, I want to say it was in Chalmette. And my cousin competes for boiling crawfish. He beat Al Scaramuza, which
That's pretty
Hall
good.
of Fame right there.
Yeah.
But we
And
ran
they good
into him.
crawfish.
We ran into him, and I told him the story, and he was like, "Oh, maybe 15 minutes after the phone went dead, we had somebody pounding on the wall, not on the roof, on the wall, and we were able to get out."
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, you hear so many of those stories. You know, everybody was directly affected.
Yeah.
Was from that area. I don't care who you are. Somebody had a family member that had a story. You know, my father stayed down there. My uncle has dementia, his older brother. So he stayed. And he was in Chalmette.
Oof.
And he was one of those guys that was in his attic.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you know, my dad was in the service, so he was prepared to whatever. The two things he told me, he said, you know, I said, when you know you were in problem. Because I talked to him like the night before the summer. I'm like, look, come up here. You got to, no, we'll be all right. We got my boat and all this stuff. Whatever. Okay. You know, I'm not going to argue with him, you know.
Right.
It's the last thing you're going to do, right? Because he's going to do what he wants to do, and that's fine. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, if you need anything, you know where we are. And then sure enough, man, he said he knew it got bad. He said the water just kept rising. And it got about halfway up the door. He said he grabbed the door and he was thinking about opening and going out. And he's like, man, that's probably not a good idea because that water came rushing in and whatever. And so he went in the attic, and then he said I was up there, and the next thing you know, there's shrimp. And it's great. He said I turned and I saw a possum in the corner looking at me like, what the hell, dude?
Right?
Yeah. And so, I mean, long story short, he busted out the attic. I wound up getting, you know, a friend's boat in Baton Rouge. So we went down, went around the river, went looking for him. Never found him. He wound up at Cavanis Air Force Base in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Wow.
He had his military credentials, and when they finally got there 4 days later, they put him on a helicopter, took him to the airport at Moisant, and they flew him to Texas. And that's where he wound up after the storm. And then eventually we got in contact with him, and he flew back to Baton Rouge Airport, and we went and got him.
Moisant is Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
For the newbies.
Yeah, for the people that don't know.
For the newbies.
Another New Orleans thing. You know, we call it Moisant.
Right.
You know, it's Moisant Airport. But,
all right, we're gonna make a sandwich. We're gonna break. We're gonna break in a minute, but we are gonna make a sandwich today. And since we're talking about the Crescent City, we're gonna make a Crescent City combo. We ain't doing nothing. Rocco's gonna make a sandwich.
He's gonna eat.
I might eat a little.
Oh,
bit.
you're gonna eat. He's got to weigh in today, but we're gonna stuff it down your throat. You're gonna.
I do have to weigh in today.
You're gonna eat it.
I prepared this time.
That's your favorite sandwich, dude.
The Crescent City combo is my go-to.
That's the one you started on when we were at LSU, and you'd come in there and, you know, I got $6. How much is it? It's $9.50 with the fries.
Pay
me later.
Whoa. No. It was the onion strings.
It was the onion strings? Yeah, that's good stuff, too.
Get it to go at the original location, make the way halfway back over, and sit down in the Greek amphitheater and eat it, and then go back to class.
That's how the fat cycle begins.
That's exactly.
You start off on a half, you work yourself to a whole. Next thing you know, you got the onion rings. And I told you a story about Jumbo Ronnie Rance, you know, when he used to come in there and trade with me. And, you know, the only guy I ever lost money with on actually trading. You know, he'd come get a whole and a half sandwich, a large cheese fry, and a Diet Coke, small.
Sports
Jumbo,
Radio.
Where you at?
All right, so we're going to come up to your money now here in just a minute. When we come back, though, he's not just going to make a sandwich, but I want to talk about some things in New Orleans on the comeback. We talk about New Orleans at the lowest of lows, post-Katrina, weed on the corner. Mardi Gras had to take off last year because of COVID.
Is it on a comeback? I mean,
I'm an eternal optimist. So we'll break it down. Mardi Gras will be back this year. Slightly differently, though. Slightly differently. They're altering routes. I have a feeling you're going to have a take on this.
I am, yeah.
We're going to hold on to that take till after the break. We're going to check your money now. We're going to check traffic. When we come back, altered routes. For real? Also, talk about New Orleans on a comeback. How about bringing back the Breakers?
Ooh.
Coming up next, right here on Talk 107.3 FM.
You're going really old school. What was the guy that coached him? Oh man, I could see him clear as day. What was that coach's name? Don.
All right, now we really need old school help. I don't remember the Breakers coach.
It was Don something, I think.
Let's see.
The Breakers. What you know about Bruford Jordan? What you know about Bruford? Man, you talk about a story right there, bro. Playing for the Breakers, winds up playing for the Saints as a result of it. I mean, that's just...
You mean being a stud for the Saints, too.
You know, Sam Mills was, played for the Philadelphia Stars, dude.
Yes, he did, and he's in the Hall of Fame, or announced for
This guy,
this year's class. All right.
How we did not win a Super Bowl with that freaking defense?
Because we had no offense.
I mean, we had Bobby Hebert with the Cajun Cannon.
God love the Cajun Cannon, but, I mean, we had
Stan Brock, John Tice.
We had Hobie Brenner and his porn mustache. We had...
Come on, man. They had some... Dude,
actually, you really think
Willie
about
Rofe?
it.
Come on, man.
Well, Rofe was later.
He played for a couple of those teams on
You had
Flora.
Dalton Hilliard, Eric Martin,
Yep.
Reuben Mays.
Hokie was a little bit before.
Yeah.
You know, but...
All right, New Orleans Breakers.
What you know about Gil Fenerty, dude? What you know about him? Huh? Jesuit boy.
Really?
Yeah. That's Jordy. They got a shrine. He's the only guy that ever played at Jesuit that played professional
Dick
sports.
Corey?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
I knew it started with a D.
Unreal.
I think he went on and actually coach in the NFL, and I think he became an offensive coordinator, too, for years as a result of his
Single
stint.
season leaders, rushing yards. 1,296 rushing yards in 1984 by Buford Jordan. Receiving yards, also 1984, 1,189 yards, Frank Lockett.
Frank Lockett. Did he ever get to the pros?
I don't think so.
I've never heard of him.
Frank Lockett was...
With those kind of stats they had.
He was a wide receiver in the... He played for the Packers in 79 and then the Dolphins in 85. So...
Wow, that's a big stretch. 79, don't make
We had the USFL in between. The USFL
that's
was like
right.
a relaunch.
Came back. That's right.
Yeah.
So when are they relaunching the Breakers?
They will be back this year.
Where are they playing? In like the arena or something? We're going to have about 62 people there. Well, 63 if you count the one cop.
That's a good day for Tulane.
I mean, you know. Yeah, I tell you what, that's a nice stadium now.
Ullman?
Yeah, it's a pretty
I put them in Ullman.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the smarter thing to do. I mean, open a dome for all those people. It's like, when they used to do the state title game.
If New Orleans knows how to do anything, it's celebrate the past. And the Breakers were a short-lived section of the past, but I guarantee you the first season out, they're going to have $10,000 a game. At least. At least.
I mean, the first game maybe.
Spring of 22.
They start losing.
You will see them.
Who's their coach?
I'm still looking for that. I don't see a current roster and breakdown or even a website for them.
I mean, I like the XFL, man.
Jeff Fisher?
Bring that back. Oh, Jeff Fisher's going to be our coach? What?
Oh, no. Larry Fedora. Excuse me. Larry Fedora's going to be their coach.
Jeff Fisher is coaching somebody, though.
Yeah, he is.
I saw it on the internet.
Former Southern
You got to
Miss.
believe it. If it was on the internet,
It's 100% true.
You got to believe it.
Always.
You want me to make a sandwich?
I do.
Right now?
You want to get started
You
now?
want me to do it? Or you want to do this and then come out at 9 and then go to it? What you want to do? You tell me. How
long does it take to make a sandwich?
You talking to the king of po' boys.
I know.
I can slap one out in about 30 seconds. I don't have to toast the bread, though.
Yeah.
So that's the key factor, too. Because we do toast it a little bit. Got to toast it a little bit.
Look at that.
A little toasted. That's a beautiful bun. Look at that, man.
It is.
This is just flakiness. But it's an easy sandwich. There's not a whole lot in it. You put the meat on it.
So the Crescent City combo, it is pretty simple. I mean, it's ham, it's turkey, it's roast beef, and then the dressing.
That's correct. And you know the different. What's the other sandwich? If you put that's big in New Orleans. If you put roast beef and ham on it,
That would be a furdy.
that would be a furdy.
So
okay?
it's like a furdy plus.
Yeah, we like the furdy, but we like a little bit of the turkey and the gravy on it.
Why go 2 when you can go 3?
Exactly. It's a big.
Wait, the furdy doesn't have gravy?
No gravy on the furdy.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that because some people do put. Actually,
Mothers
puts gravy on their furdy.
Mothers is
But
the
I've
home.
had one at Pontchartrain Po' Boys, and they didn't have it on it.
Okay. I think Parkway has it too.
I've been to Parkway in a while, man. My buddy used to own.
I ain't been anywhere in a while.
Oh no, I'm thinking of not Parkway. I'm thinking of Parasols.
Oh snap!
My buddy used to own
Happy
that.
St. Patrick's Day,
And then,
huh?
yeah, and so what happened? His name's Jeff Carreras, and if you're out there listening, Jeffrey, very very good friend of mine. I grew up with him, and so the way it worked is whoever owned the restaurant had to stay in that building, and they couldn't take the name.
Fair.
Okay, and so
It's a legend. I mean,
so they sold the property, the owners, the original owners, and then they were like, "Well, look, you know, you're gonna have to pay us this much to keep using the name." He's like, "I ain't doing that." So he's like, "Go ahead, go ahead, please."
8:56, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. One segment to go on air. We're going to go until we're done on YouTube. Rocco is in the house, and we will eventually get around to having a sandwich. Talking New Orleans a little bit today, because I teased it going into the break, and then we started talking about the New Orleans Breakers going into the break.
Oh, yeah.
But it's carnival season. The heart of King Cake season right now. We'll get to parade in a week or so. Altered parade routes down in New Orleans. Your immediate takeaway is what?
So first of all, let's be thankful that Carnival is back.
Absolutely.
Because the Destroyer would continue to do what she's doing. And
She has Cant in her last name.
You know, and so, I mean, I can't even go on that tangent even speaking about her, you know, and the ridiculousness. You know, the two things I will tell you, when you do go down there, be extremely careful.
Oh, God, yeah.
They are breaking into cars left and right. Watch where you park. And, you know, and I don't want to put the doom and gloom on people, but be vigilant, you know. And, I mean, go enjoy yourself, but also make sure you're conscious of where you are. Because as we were also talking about during the break, you know, when I did go down to New Orleans, I didn't see cops anywhere. I mean, I didn't see them anywhere. In the Bout Carré, Canal Street, off of Baton, by the World War II Center, I didn't see any cops. And the big issue, like we also talked about before we were on air, they're losing 2 to 3 police officers a month to Jefferson Parish and some of these other places. Well, why is that?
They don't have to deal with the same stuff.
Well, it's freaking leadership, dude.
It is.
I mean, that's what it is. You know?
Which,
so, Rocco Moro for Mayor 2024, Baton Rouge. I'm announcing it now. Go ahead.
Oh, here in Baton Rouge?
Oh, yeah, I'm running. I'm telling you, I'm going to run for mayor.
I'm not
making that up.
You're running on a platform of sandwiches?
Not sandwiches,
okay.
But, you know, we do have a certain segment of the population that are in EBR and the surrounding areas, you know, that are within the enclave of the mayor-president's jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the people that often complain the most do the least.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a martyr or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say or trying to do. But I've been in business on my own since I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know what it takes, and I know what it's going to take to change this city. And, you know, we talk about faith, you and I, a lot because of some of the things that we've gone through in our lives. And, you know, the lack of that and the lack of just family values and understanding that it takes a village and a community to right the wrongs.
Yes.
And it's going to take, I'm sick of the division with North Baton Rouge and all. That's got to go.
100%.
I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care. That should not have any relevance because we all need to be fighting the same cause. So
100%.
So
100%. And the divisiveness is something that's been an overriding topic on this show. Hey, we got to sign off on air. CBS News is about to take us over. We're on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. We're moving over to YouTube.
Crescent City, baby. Come watch us.
Crescent City combo about to happen over on YouTube. Also, we're going to talk parade routes and
always, thank you for having me. And don't take this the wrong way.
No.
But I love you.
I love you too.
All right, my man.
All right. Fox News Rundown's coming your way next. Bet responsibly on the Super Bowl, and we will see you Monday.
All right, now I don't have to
Dispense
wear
with
these
that.
anymore.
No.
Beautiful.
All right. So, first of all, you're going to have altered routes for like Endymion. God, I hope Toth is going past St. Francis Xavier. Sunday before Mardi Gras. This is my favorite Mardi Gras tradition. My uncle's brother is the pastor of St. Francis of Assisi.
Yeah.
Yes. Off of State. And it's like a block from the route for Toth.
Right.
So they do a jazz mass on Sunday morning before Toth. So we'll go down there early. We'll go to mass. We'll get drunk at the rectory, and then we'll go out to the route.
In true Catholic tradition.
Maybe not drunk, but
Yeah,
you know, couple of Bloody
Hey, Father,
Marys.
you need a highball? Yeah, put a cube of ice in it for me.
Hey,
you
look,
know?
you know what? I don't have to ask that because he's pouring.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So you know what I got my priest when we got married, my wife and I.
What?
You know, I gave him a little scratch, slid him a little cheese.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of the guy, right?
Grease the pastor, sure.
Yeah, got him a bottle of Blanton's bourbon. I'm like, here you go, my bro. He likes bourbon.
Well,
and it wasn't Father Miles, by the way, who is of Scottish descent.
yeah.
Miles
I didn't know that. I didn't.
Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh makes sense. Yeah.
Irish.
Right.
Scottish. Irish.
Wasn't Cleo
it's not
either.
the same thing.
Was it Cleo?
No. But I mean, you know, he likes the Scotch.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, you know, the priests they dabble in some good stuff. You know, Father Cleo's probably drinking Dom though. He looks like a sparkling wine.
Prosecco.
Kind of
He's a Prosecco
There you
guy.
go.
He's a Prosecco
Well, he's
guy.
Italian. I mean,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
So we got married down in New Orleans. We got married at Ursuline
Right.
and Monsignor Frank.
Why'd you get married at Ursuline?
Because only a certain number of people can get married at Ursuline, and you got to be an alum.
Oh,
and I'm an alum. No, my wife is an Ursuline
did
alum.
your
so-
wife go there?
She did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, the number of beautiful.
I knew that, Chris.
The number of beautiful churches that are down in New Orleans. It's
Yeah.
hard to pick which one, but this
St.
was
Joe's
special,
on Tulane. That's
right?
where we got married. Yeah.
So that was different. That was like if you went to Ursuline, let's get married there.
Yeah,
That
I
just
get
made
it.
sense.
Yeah.
And Monsignor Frank was married us, which ended up where like a lot of our circle of friends, he married most of them because not too many priests will travel
Oh, yeah.
into the city and whatnot. So
We had Father Bob Massett, who was, you know, married everybody in Chalmette. I mean, he was the guy. He was like a rock star.
Right.
Kind of like Father Cleo a little bit. He
A
walked
little,
in,
yeah.
he's like waving to the crowd, you know.
yes.
Hey, Father, throw a blessing on me. Bam, there you go.
You caught a little rocky too on the end of that one.
That's right.
Hey, if it's not too much trouble.
Hey, Father, I mean, you know, if you don't mind, and so I don't get beat up so bad tonight, you think you can throw a blessing on me? See, Rocky, yeah, see. Espiritu
that's
Santo.
That's a classic phrase.
Oh,
all right.
come on.
So, do you mess with altered route? Do you mess with
Okay,
routes?
So, all right. I'm trying to be patient. I keep alluding to this retreat, this Acts retreat that we went on.
Yes.
Extremely transforming, life-changing. You
It
know
is.
it. My
If you're
brothers
Catholic,
out there that are
find it at
listening,
your church.
that are watching, that have been on it, the men, the women, they know the deal.
Brother
right?
Gray, who says you've got his vote.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Brother Gray.
Stewart's in.
I know Stu. Stu's probably having a burp. Well, he's probably having a burp.
It's
Right?
about
Stu,
Bourbon 03 right
Bourbon
now.
03. Yeah. You know, he's working from home, so it doesn't matter, right? Who's watching?
Oh, he's working.
So, but I mean, because of that transformation, I try to be a little bit more patient,
Sure.
and tolerable of things
Yes.
with everything I do. Employees, children, people I interact with. The lady that cut in front of me. I was at Costco, and I was trying to do the right thing. You know, I was trying to get gas, and they had the guy, two people in front of me, and then the guy that was in front finished, and he took off. This lady comes rolling by in a van right by me and pulls it. I was going to wait for him to move in front of me.
Both roll out, you roll in.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
So and I'm like, now the old Rocco would have got out and said, what in the flippity mother chucking, what are you doing?
Right?
Right? So I walked over to her. Patient.
Yes.
Ma'am, you did see me and other people waiting in line. She was an elderly lady.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, she was in a van, and she was a horticulturist, and she had her business on the side of the van.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, you do realize that you just jumped in front of me and the 7 people that are in line behind me because it was packed. You know,
Yeah. Costco's always packed.
Yeah, I couldn't, but I'm saving that 8 cents of gas, brother.
Bro.
You know Rocco's a miser, bro.
I went and grabbed the Get Upside app. I make it up on the back end.
My wife's like, you're driving to save $2. I said, you know what? But I'm saving $2.
You darn right. Well,
and Joey ain't getting it. But Fangulio. Anyway, so trying to be patient, and I said, just explain to her. I said, you know, I'm going to tell you this. I said, because you're older than I am, obviously. And I said, you're old enough to know right from wrong. And what you did is wrong. And remember, God is always watching.
Oh, good Lord. And her response?
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh,
no,
stop.
So she proceeded and pumped her gas. But the whole thing about it is, that's fine. And I'm joking a little bit, but
yeah,
she has her name on the van. The people saw.
That's bad business.
They saw, and it wasn't just the people in the line that we were in. The people next to us.
Yeah,
they had an Asian couple that was standing next to her, and they looking at me, and he's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "Yeah, what the hell?" So
I'm sorry. If you did just trigger in your mind to be like,
yeah,
emotional damage.
I'm telling you, man. And so when we talk about the parade routes, I'm thankful.
Okay.
Lord have mercy, I'm thankful that it's bringing money back to the city and all that.
It's fair.
But what difference does it make? Tell me.
If you live on the blocks that got cut out,
that's my point.
You can no longer post up in front of your own home.
That's my point. What difference does it make if it runs
okay.
the old route?
All right. I thought you meant what difference does it make
No,
from the...
I get it. The way I said it, I can understand.
The thing is, if they're shortening routes for police reasons, for cop reasons, for law enforcement reasons, what they're doing at the same time, if they're shortening the route, they're bunching the people together. So walk me through the balance of law enforcement versus COVID. Like, would you rather have us more spaced out, or would you rather have to police a smaller number of blocks?
Well, you know, there are other options that she has as the mayor. And if she was really thinking and trying to help the people of the city that are in the service industries, that own the hotels, that make the majority of their monies during a year, during carnival season, you go out and you get other agencies, if you have to,
yes,
state police, you go to freaking Jefferson Parish and say, look, we got it in the budget. We'll pay your officers this much to come assist us. You don't think people from Jefferson know how to handle people with parades?
100%.
They got really good parades out in Metairie.
Oh,
go to Veterans, dude.
Hey, I grew up posted up on Veterans by Super Popeyes.
She don't want to is the problem.
Right.
And the lack of wanting to.
I don't think she wants Mardi Gras.
She don't want any. Look, I don't want to get, because it's your show. You know,
That's what we're here for.
No. But I don't want to get in a political debate and start raising hell about the left versus the right. But we all know. I mean, for goodness sakes, and I'm just going to say this: what's going on with the governor right now? Okay, with this young man that got killed as a result of what went on with the police.
Ronald Green, state police. Yes.
Okay. We all know what happened.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that the governor didn't know? Now,
it's the story.
Now, why? Why? And look, I voted for him, okay, the second time, because I thought he was the best man for the job, okay? And I vote my conscience, brother.
Yeah.
Am I Republican? Yes.
Yeah.
But that does not change how I vote for the man or the woman that I think's best and capable of doing the job. That's the way government should work.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, I know. We're pigeonholed into a two-party system.
Brother, I'm an old blue dog Democrat, baby.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, I switched. Yeah, I used to work for Senator Sammy Nunes, used to be the president of the Louisiana Senate. Okay?
Wow.
So
that's an old school name right there.
Absolutely. You know, the John Alerios and all those guys. But you know what those guys did? Let me tell you something. There wasn't a whole lot of Republicans back then in the legislature.
No, there wasn't.
You know, in the early 90s to mid-90s when I was at LSU and working there. But I tell you what they did do, they crossed the aisle no matter what if they didn't agree with somebody, and they worked stuff out.
Yes.
Go back and take a look. These people that are on the federal level, go look at Tip O'Neill.
Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan. 100%.
And even look.
100%. That's my mantra, dude.
Absolutely. Even, and I got to give Bill, whether you like Bill Clinton or not, which I didn't, and I didn't vote for him, and we know how he's a sleazeball. Anyway, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. You call a spade a spade.
Right.
So, but even he sat down at the table and worked stuff out with Newt Gingrich when
Yes.
he had to.
Yeah.
Because that's how government should work.
And that contract with America and all that work gave us the longest peacetime economic prosperity
Right.
we've seen.
So when this happened, it was right coming up to election time, and they brushed it under the rug.
Yes.
That's what happened. Okay, so, you got the legislative black caucus that's okay with that. Bro, come on.
No, they're not.
Well, they're not now.
Right.
In the beginning, first couple of days. Then the powers that be start spinning it.
Okay,
and
so
they're like, well, hold on a
where
second.
I see where you're at. You're at like, once it comes to light, everybody's angry. Why weren't you angry before? Like
They wanted to get him reelected, brother. That's what happened. Okay, so, don't try and say any other thing other than the obvious, because
Right.
that's what happened. Okay, and so, I believe him to be a faithful man. If he's going to get up there and say, I didn't know, there may be a small, minute possibility that he didn't know. But if he didn't know, and you're the governor of this state, how did you not know?
right. And
All right? So that's the question I would pose to him.
Well, and my whole take is
So-
so Jim Inkster was at the Rotary Club 2 weeks ago.
Right.
He said nobody asked the question of what would you have done differently if you do it over again, and that's a good question to ask. But yeah, not only I'm not worried about what he did and didn't know because my mind's gonna be made up on that either way. Standing in front of a microphone and saying I wouldn't know how to cover something up, I wouldn't even know where to begin if I wanted to cover
Right.
something up. Playing that Pollyanna role, dude.
Yeah.
You're from Tangipahoa Parish. Like
Doggone
your
Dad was
family.
a sheriff out there for years.
Dad was
My
a sheriff out
mother's
there.
family's from Tangipahoa. We've
You-
known him forever. My dad knew his dad.
Tangipahoa
So-
Parish is New Orleans Mafia's retirement community.
Right.
That is like the West
That's
Palm
right.
of Louisiana. Go to Independence Italian
That's-
Heritage. Like it's
You're spot on with that.
Don't
And
tell
I can
me
tell
you
'cause I am
like
my family's from there.
right.
You know,
You can't tell me you've never heard of such a concept before.
I will-
Hey, how about I come from a family of law enforcement. I went to West Point. I'm U.S. military. Like I respect and give deference to, even with evidence suggesting otherwise, to still give those who maintain law and order the benefit of the doubt. If you want to convict me of that, okay, but we have a system that's in place right now, and I wanted to let the system play out. We're at a point now where the system can't play itself out.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, you know as well as I do because we got several friends that we personally know that are in law enforcement, and they're bad eggs, man. That's just how it is. Does that mean the state police as an organization is completely bad? Hell no. The commander in New Orleans, Donovan Archodi, one of the best guys I've ever known.
Right.
Grew up with the guy, okay? And I'm telling you, he is solid and true and faithful to the core. Okay, so stuff happens. I would not believe, and I don't think it would be capable of the superintendent of state police who is African American to know about something and sweep it under the rug. Okay, what I'm saying is they knew something happened, and it was not handled correctly.
Yeah.
And then when it goes, trickle down, man. It always starts at the top.
Yeah.
If there's a problem in any of my business, my construction company, my restaurants, guess who's to blame?
Hey,
Troy D. Rocco Morrow. He's the guy.
why did we fire Les Miles? Like, why does any head coach get fired?
Sure.
Because it always starts at the top is where you pin the blame.
That's right. And you've got to really take a look at that. And so when I think of what this mayor in New Orleans is doing by trying to alter these parade routes,
Because of a problem she created.
she created it herself.
Right.
And you're not smart enough to fix it? What? Wait, what?
Well, and now
I mean, how?
the whole city council is saying, let's bring in state troopers while we still can. Like before Mardi Gras, Helena Moreno, like all but one council member has signed off asking the governor to step in and say, send state troopers, send the National Guard,
Right.
send state troopers to watch the interstates.
Right.
Because there's shootings on the interstates.
Sure.
If you got state troopers on the interstates, you can have more NOPD on the surface streets or Costco's gas pumps so nobody gets carjacked.
Well, you know the story there.
Right.
I mean, she's a personal friend of the family of this kid. Did you not know that?
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, she knows the family of the kid. The DA was involved with lessening the charges so he would get out. And then what does he do? He goes back on the streets and he commits crime. Look, prisons are there for a reason. Jail is there for a reason. If you got to build more jails to lock more people up, And if that's what it takes to solve the issues we are having, then you do what you need to do.
Now let's take this back to the beginning of the beginning of our conversation. The people doing the carjacking and the people smoking the weed on the corner, we spend way too much time looking at the people smoking weed on the corner and putting them away than the people that are committing violent crimes.
You need to worry about violent crimes.
Right.
I mean, you know, and, you know, a majority, too, and I think the last time I was with you, I want to say we were talking about this, or there was something in the news at the time. You know, we're talking about defunding the police now, which is stupid because, you know.
So we got us where we are right now.
Defund the police, and somebody broke into my house. Please, where's the cops?
They've been defunded.
Right. So we know all that's not going to work, and it's just ridiculous. Okay, so that's never going to happen. But the other thing is that, you know, when you talk about defunding police and, you know, not having the money to pay for, you know, more law enforcement and everything, and if that's a result of why you're not having these parades, fix the problem.
Right.
You know, fix the problem. And, you know, I mean, there's certain things that you could talk about, rehabilitation of, you know, of people that are in prisons and all. But if they know they're going and they ain't getting out, brother, all right, burglary, you got 5 years, you're not getting out. No suspended sentences, nothing.
Right.
5 years, go.
Right. Well,
Okay?
so and that problem
changes the game.
That problem just goes way beyond any mayor, though. That problem goes to judges.
Well, they're a part of it. But, I mean, again, as the mayor, if you can't even have enough people to operate a police force effectively,
Right.
that's on you.
They got to get arrested before they get in front of the judge.
You got to find a way to make it happen.
100%.
And so, I don't know, but you know, what are we going to do? Maybe I should move to New Orleans and run for mayor of New Orleans. It's an idea. I promise you, when I win, you and your family will be on the stage with me. You could
Okay.
You'll be the guy like the Al Scaramucci. You can wave the other way.
Wave the other way, yeah.
All right, so let's make a
po' boy.
All right.
All right. So the Crescent City combo for the uninitiated is ham, turkey, roast beef. And then you got the lettuce, tomato, the pickle, the mayo.
Finished off with the brown gravy.
I was leaving that for last.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you forgot.
No.
I mean, you are 40-something now, so I mean.
I'm 45.
Okay, well, you're 40-something.
I mean,
what is that?
It's not old.
45, 41? I'm 50. 50 years old. I'm not even going to go there.
No. He is 50. The Oklahoma State kid. He's 50 now. He was 40 when. Remember, I'm a man.
Yeah,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
But I mean,
that was 10 years ago.
You know, as your viewers are looking at us on YouTube right now, not to mention I'm managing to still keep my weight down, looking svelte. You know, as a man of 50, I don't have as much gray as you. I'm looking up there and I see a little gray.
Why do you think I go with the high and tight haircut?
I see a little gray.
Why do you think I go with the high and tight haircut?
You know, when I met you,
This is pure vanity. This is a bad look.
I mean,
but I'm
you had
better
hair
than
like John Travolta when I met you. You had flowing locks, dude.
It's
it was
gorgeous.
Like Adonis walking in a
No,
restaurant.
it is. It is. It's either. But I can
I
either
gotta compete with this guy. Look at the hair. All right,
I could either go with this look or I can dye it. Which one do you think I should go? Dye the hair?
I mean, everybody accuses me of dyeing my hair, but I do not
I
dye my hair.
don't think you dye your hair.
don't dye it.
No.
I got a little gray in there, but the key is.
I'm full on Paulie walnuts along the
You know
sides,
what you
though.
could probably, yeah, you do have wings, bro. You're like, that's pretty funny. You know what you could do? What you could do is get yourself some hair gel, grow it out a little bit, and when you slick it back with the gel, like
It looks darker?
It looks darker.
It looks, yeah.
It gives it a glisten.
The thing is, now that I'm down to this, I don't want to go back. It's so much, like, I don't have to comb my hair or use any kind of product in the morning. There's no gel, there's no spray, there's no nothing.
So, tell the viewers, the viewers and the listeners.
We're down to just viewers at this point because the
Tell the
listening
viewers.
audience has got Fox News on.
Tell the viewers.
Yes.
All right. What kind of mayonnaise do we use?
I'm hoping Blue Plate.
Blue Plate. Excellent.
You know what? I never
You're
actually
paying attention.
Well, I never knew that for sure. I just assumed.
Blue Plate. Come on, man. We don't use
What do you use? That Duke's garbage?
That's a northern thing.
You're gonna use that Duke's garbage?
Blue Plate mayonnaise.
Always Blue Plate.
Right.
Are they still on? They were on Tulane?
Fresh New Orleans French bread. They were, but not anymore.
Okay.
So I don't know where they are now. But they had to move, just like Crystal's. Crystal's hot sauce moved too. You remember
Yeah.
the guy? I think the sign still had a guy stirring.
Yeah.
You know, with the hat on.
Yeah.
All right, so What's going on first?
By the old Rockin' Bowl.
That's right.
All right.
Blue plate mayonnaise.
Blue plate mayonnaise first. Both sides, top and bottom.
Top and bottom. What's the standard dress at Rocco's?
Lettuce, tomato, pickle.
Little lettuce.
Yup.
So,
Lettuce on top.
it's so beautiful.
It is.
Tomato.
Tomato. Also on top, which actually kind of holds down the lettuce when you go to put it together later.
Beautiful. Pickles.
Now, I'm noticing, and this is getting like super granular here, but you're putting the dressing on before you're putting the meat on.
That's correct.
You don't build from the bottom up.
No.
You build top, you build bottom, and then you marry.
Everything starts at the top with us. You know that.
Okay.
We're at the top of our game.
Well, yeah.
In everything we do, whether it's making you a po' boy.
How'd you make that a
putting
metaphor?
a roof on your house. You know, I mean, putting in addition, remodeling your inside, flood damage, water mitigation, whatever you need. From the
You
top.
just like you turned that into a whole. You turned it into a metaphor into a commercial. I don't know how you did that.
Consummate professional, brother. So, all right.
That's one word for it.
So we go on with the turkey.
Uh-huh.
And then we layer it, though. We don't just throw the meat on it. We got to put the turkey. And then we put the ham on top of the turkey. Because you got to have separation.
Yeah.
Separation is important.
It is.
And then we go ahead and do that.
Now I'm guessing the turkey and the ham are beneath the roast beef, and that has to do with where the gravy's going to hit.
I mean, I am just so impressed with your ability.
You eat the same sandwich for 27 years.
How to not only make it correctly,
I get,
but the nuances, the little nuances.
I understood the assignment, man. I've been eating that same sandwich.
Talk about the breakers. How much time we got?
We got about.
We got to do this quick.
Yeah, we're gonna run out.
Talk about the breakers.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. Too much history there.
Way too much.
All right. Roast beef goes on last.
Yes.
Right? What's next?
Gravy. What's next? That's all that's left. Look at that's a thing of beauty.
Smell of it.
I can smell it.
Smell it. Smell it.
I love when the garlic is just right.
You ain't weighing in today.
Yeah, I'm weighing in today.
You ain't weighing
I prepared, dude. I
You're gonna
prepared.
eat this and you ain't going weigh in. I'm just telling you. Oh my goodness. What's his name? Frankie. You like po' boys?
That's Jake.
Jake. Yeah. Jake, you like po' boys? Yes. Jake, were you here last time?
He was. So he's been looking forward to this.
Jake, I told you my papa's name was Jake. Yeah. Remember that story?
No.
Enlighten me.
Thank you.
Making sure I was doing my job correctly.
Jake, you're fired.
That's Moscona's bit, not mine.
Is that Brian, you're fired.
Yeah. Every day, at least twice a day.
Goodness. Jake, glad to see you again.
Good to see you as well, sir.
Oh,
I'm trying to find a current roster for the Breakers, and I think that actually, you said where they gonna play it. Oh my word!
I just don't. I don't even know. I don't even have the words to really. I just don't. I
don't have the words to what?
To even describe.
There it is.
The love, the like you said last time, Rocco's is the vibe of Rocco's is all about love.
It is all about love.
It's about love. I mean, if that's not love,
That is love.
Look at. I mean, you want to hold it yourself, smell it, take in the effervescence of it.
Oh my God, the bread, dude.
I mean, this is just not. Everything just works.
All right, I'm gonna
It just works. You want me to cut it in?
cut it in. Yeah, cut it a little bit,
You want me to cut it again?
so I can enjoy and still hit weight.
Let me take care of this for you. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
And, also, as I said earlier,
Fresh baked.
I baked these cookies for you. So you would, I was worried about the temperature outside, so I vacuum sealed them for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And
that level of care.
Remarkably, they taste almost like Otis Spunkermeyer cookies.
Yeah, almost.
I mean, almost.
Almost.
They're way better, but I mean, that's to give you an idea of just the flavor and how good they are. I mean,
I didn't even
when
know
you
you
bite
had
into one of these, okay?
Yeah,
And I'm sure you've seen the movie Casino.
I have.
You remember when he breaks open the muffin? And
Oh
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
enough
yeah, yeah,
blueberries?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can assure you, brother, there are an equal number of chocolate chips in every one of these cookies.
That's a very intricate. That's a deep cut of a scene.
So that's for your children.
I appreciate that.
Jimbo.
That's
For Jimbo.
for Jimbo
Bring it
and
to
Abby
Jimbo.
and young Kerrigan.
Yeah, you.
Hey, how's freshman year going for?
I mean, I told Christy, I was talking to her about it. I asked her about your daughter. My daughter's not big on the big school stuff. I mean, I don't see her going to I think she's going to go to like Millsaps or a smaller school, maybe Loyola.
Yeah.
She's just not into the big, you know?
When
But
you
she really likes it. You know, I
Good.
think when they get to 8th grade, they're ready
They're
to
done.
spread their
They're
wings.
done,
You know,
yeah.
they all had been there since they were in pre-K.
10 years together,
It was
yeah.
time. They wanted to branch out and leave and go do their deal, you know? And so, you know, she does enjoy it. She likes the school.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot of growth because obviously you're going to keep in touch with a couple of your good buddies from Mercy.
Right.
But all the girls you go to with at Mercy, or even the boys for that sense, you know, you kind of branch off, you know.
Yeah.
Now, my son Roman was a little different. He still has the same 4 friends that he's had.
Dudes
since
are
he's been
like
at
that,
Mercy.
though. Yeah, like
you know, Steele Lewis, Hunter Bluen, Jack Rando, and Johnny, Christie's son, Johnny Mansour. That's their little clique, dude. And I mean, they're thick as thieves. But she's got a bunch of friends from St. Aloysius now, St. George, you know.
Oh, Carrie, yeah, same
and
thing.
Some
thing
people
all
we
over
knew,
the place.
like one of them is Sean Malone, who is the food and beverage director at LaBerge. Went to Brother Martin. He's one of our people. He's from down there.
All right.
But his daughter Finley and her became good friends, you know, just because of they had common. You know, a lot of people that were together at Mercy, when they get there, they don't have classes together, so you branch off with different people. But yeah, she likes it. I mean, it's good. Go ahead and do the taste test.
I'm doing the taste test.
Let me see if you approve. That's all I'm trying to talk to you about, Jake. You see that? Jake. We can't forget about Jake.
Oh my God.
Jake, you want a half? You want a whole? What you want, Jake? You need more gravy on it?
I think that's perfect, actually.
Man, let Jake. Jake, you don't.
Thank you, Rocco.
You're welcome anytime. My pleasure. I mean, I almost want to.
That is
take a
perfection,
bite.
dude. That is, dude.
But
take a
I'm
bite.
intermittent fasting.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, doing the intermittent fasting, and I can't at this point stage in the game. It is.
What's
It
your
is.
window?
It's tough when you like to eat too, Jake. Imagine
You're around the food all day long.
and you're around food constantly. But before we get out of here,
Yes.
the Breakers.
Yes, New Orleans Breakers.
Buford Jordan.
Buford Jordan, Marcus Dupree.
Marcus Dupree. Remember, we were talking. You never forget when that dude blew his knee out. That was it.
No.
Probably the greatest running back probably ever to play the game. I mean,
So-
had he stayed healthy and got back in the NFL, you know, Ricky Jackson reminded me a lot of him. You know, because Ricky Jackson was, Ricky Williams.
Okay.
You know, he was kind of a little crazy and stuff, you know, but he was a damn good running back, man.
Very
If he
eccentric.
wouldn't have, you know, I mean, Marcus was the same way. He had a lot of those issues, you know,
Yeah,
leaving
see, I was-
Oklahoma and all that stuff, and
I didn't even know about all
oh
that.
yeah, man, he was at Oklahoma for like, I can't remember, for one season, man. It was like Earl Campbell running the ball with twice the speed.
Okay.
I mean, he would just run over people, dude. They couldn't tackle him. I mean, he was up and down the field. It was just crazy. They played Texas A&M, Texas. Anyway, because that was the Big 12 back then, right? When they were all in, was it? Were
they called the Big 8 then?
Was it the Big 8?
Or,
no, you had like Texas, and then Oklahoma was in it.
yeah, it's like
and
post-Southwest
A&M
Conference,
and
but it
all
was
them.
Big
Right.
8, I thought.
And, you know, when he blew his knee out, man, that was it, dude. I mean, that was it for him. But
so they're
now. Coming back on.
First year is going to be in Birmingham. Like all the games, I believe,
Right.
are going to be in Birmingham. That's where the league is headquartered. So
all the teams are playing in Birmingham.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's how it's
What
going
do
to
you got,
work.
5 or 6 teams?
Hang on, I got it right here.
6, 7.
This webpage is not available. Try again. Here we go. The USFL coming back this spring. They'll be on NBC and Peacock. I don't want league history. I want teams. Here we go. Los Angeles Express, Chicago Blitz, Tampa Bay Bandits, Houston Gamblers, Birmingham Stallions. Oh, remember Birmingham
I do.
Stallions?
I do remember.
Jacksonville Bulls, and well, this is listed as the Portland Breakers. So,
I think
but
that's
they're-
great though that they bring in the old names back. I think that's fantastic.
same. It's
yeah.
it's a blast from the past, but more
Yeah.
than that, the NFL or football has tried a million times to have a successful feeder league, and they just don't.
Right.
And because it's this balance of, number one, it's a pretty violent game. You don't want to have a prospect get hurt. You can't have a G League or a minor leagues. But at the same time, though, where do you go for that rolling live audition? Outside of, so
That's true.
But
I'm just glad there's going to be some additional football being played, whether it's good or bad. I mean, the XFL wasn't that bad.
The
when it
XFL
came
was
back,
decent.
you
It
know?
was decent.
Sans the diving for the ball for possession as opposed to kicking it and all the other crazy stuff they were doing when it first came out.
What
I mean,
kind of half-ass linebacker
He
coach?
hate me.
He hate me was. Didn't he go to Auburn?
I don't know, dude. That thing was that whole thing was just.
All right.
It was very theatrical and definitely.
It was
WWE
exactly what it was
for
supposed to
sure,
be,
yeah.
though. It was a combination of WWE and football.
It was bad. It was bad TV. What it was.
Y'all know where to go. Rocco's
Stop
Po
by and
Boys
see it.
on Drusilla. And, my boys in the construction business as well. I know we all know them from the
Yes.
sandwiches, but since the flood, it's been overdrive for you.
We
And,
are
last year
thankful
storms.
and blessed. And, the truth of the matter is, honestly, majority of the work we do is for people we know. I mean, word of mouth. And, we do advertise. We do stuff on Facebook and all that, but, if you do good work and you do an honest at an honest price and you're expeditious about how you do it, and you're not one of the contractors that you hear everything about, which, by the way, I'm in the Capital Region Builders Association as well. And, the one thing we always like to tell people is if you go ahead and you hire somebody to do a job, check on the website.
Oh, 100%.
To make sure that they're licensed.
Yes.
And insured and whatever, before you sign anything. Now, I will tell you, there are the people out there that are, but they're still going to take your money. So it's really, really important to not only choose correctly, but do your research. Talk to somebody that they have worked for before. That's the one thing when somebody asks me, what is this? So you can go to Facebook, you can look at all the pictures, you do it, I got a poor foot, whatever.
Right.
Call these people.
Yes.
Okay? If you're concerned about whatever, call these people. And they'll tell you what we do and how we do it, And that's why we've been able to stay in the game, And the truth be told, I was talking to RC about this earlier, Richard Condon. Most of the problems nowadays is, when you're dealing in construction, the speculative market is so much more of a problem, because you're trying to get permits and everything done. So a lot of what we do is renovations, and I'm trying to stay away. I flip houses and do that too, but I'm trying to stay away from like building homes and all that, because I can move in and do roofs and
Here's the
framing
thing,
and
though.
quick,
It's
man,
also,
get in,
but
get out,
renovation. With interest rates about to go where they're about to go, we're going to see. Does that mean more renovation? We could break all that down.
Well, they're going to. I tell you what, they're going to have to, for sure, raise interest rates. It's coming.
No, that's happening. It's like a month from now.
Yeah, so it's.
I'm not.
If you haven't refinanced or bought your home, if you want to get a good interest rate, do it now.
And if you want to get a good po' boy,
Rocco's, New Orleans style po' boys and cafe, located at 3358 Drusilla Lane, 248-1999. And remember, in order to make a great New Orleans style po' boy, you got to be from New Orleans. And heck, our po' boys are so good, if you put them on top of your head,
you will beat a hole through the roof of your mouth with your tongue to get to it.
Absolutely. Ba-ding. Jake, thank you for being here. I appreciate you showing up today.
Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you
Have
Monday.
a good weekend. Laissez le bon temps rouler.